Hey, folks. Warming things up over here now. Hope everyone enjoyed that show. I forgot most of what was going on in there. So just let me know how the video and audio is, and we'll get going here momentarily. Annette has the invite already. Hi, Anna Lee. Good to see you. Carrie, how are you tonight? Maura. Hello, hello. Terry, Spiritual Seeker, Arlene. Oh, we're off to a hot start tonight. Joan, always good to see you. If you're new, welcome, welcome. Ooh, let me click the thumbs up here. CM, of course. Nikki, how are you? Thanks for that, Nikki. Lisa, of course. Hello, hello, hello. Jenna, Jennifer, Rose. Oh, it's going to be a full house tonight, folks. I can feel it. Giselle, there's Montone. Yeah, thanks for sitting on that last hour, Annalie and Christian. Deb, Christy, Diane, there's Wilk, Miss Anonymous, Wildflower Wind, Nancy Jones, Barbara Mooney, lucky me. It's an all-star cast tonight. It's like one of those year-end shows you would see on the major networks where they just had 900 guests for the New Year's Eve show. Elizabeth, how you doing? Joy, Abigail, Carol, Sandy. Hey, there's Warren. Oh boy. You got it, Warren. Jenna, Dawn, Mousy, always good to see you. Joan of Art. Jessica, yes. Oh, Equus, I've missed you. Joanne, Tailwind. Yep, Lisa. We have a lot of Lisas. Good to see all the Lisas. If I get quiet, I'm just trying to hook up Annette here to join us. Hi, Deneen, Joan, Wowen. Hello, hello, hello. Hope everyone had a great Christmas. Dottie, good to see you. Could you imagine if Annette's connection failed tonight? Let me text her real quick just to be safe. Let's see, Dion. We'll see about that. Not yet. Oh, Sandy, how are you? Tony, good to see you. From Houston, forever, Jersey. Awesome. Oh, thanks for loving the shows. Oh, MJ Storks, good to see you. Thomas Crutchfield, and you're new. Good to see you again. Christine, of course. Jamie. Hello, hello, hello. Nero, good to see you again. It was good seeing everybody this afternoon. I told you, Annette and I might do a little test show from a studio around the corner from you, which was great. So we'll probably do that this winter as the studio gets built here at Bridge headquarters. It'll be a different setup than what you saw at my friend Andrew's place today, but you get an idea of what we can do if we have a crew in place and real equipment. And like, that's sort of been the goal. It's why I've been doing this all year long for Bridge Cape Band. So, oh, thanks, Arlene. And then it's having supper. What? Nayrod, good to see you. Oh yeah, we're gonna see. So I told you guys that I found the 2020 New Year's show that Annette and I did, and we're gonna replay that tomorrow night at this hour, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it turns out I was wearing this sweater for that too. So I wore this sweater for New Year's Eve in 2021, 2022, and 2023. So there's that. You were waiting on the psych. I have no idea. She was in the chat 2 minutes ago for that last show. So I hope she tested things out on her end tonight. Whenever she has issues with the iPad, she usually goes to the phone and has to plug the phone in. So, but I've texted her. And here we go. I left a little while ago. Be there in 2 minutes. Oh my God, Dion. She always has to make the grand entrance. Have people wait it out, but that's okay. Let's more people file in so everyone can get seated. Plenty of seats. They're doing get your bathroom break out of the way. Get your snacks in. Let's see. Well, Carol, I wore this sweater thinking Annette would wear the same sweater again, like we did for that last peep show we had. And when I say peep show, I don't mean peep show. I mean peeps show. If you know what I'm saying. These are the peppermint ones. They're hard as a rock. Good for melting in hot chocolate, though. All right, so Dion is on her way. LB, good to see you. Cheryl, always good to see you. Jackie Lynn, yes, yes, yes. There's Froxy Roxy. Jamie, no, Annette is not coming to my house. Like, she's weirded out by being in close quarters with me. The studio allowed for a little more breathing room, but I think she liked the experience, so she's lightening up a little bit. But you know, we're not through the COVID hurdle yet, right? And she's told us, she might have even told us in that 2020 show that we'd be doing this through January 2024. So there is that. Oh, hot bean and ham soup. There you go. Someone else was having pea soup in the last chat I saw. Eileen, how you doing? Oh, what's up, Mode Man? How you doing? Ice Sphere is back. Now, Annette likes to be fashionably late. Fashionably late, right? Oh, how do you like get out of my way for my background for you to check out? Something simple. I figured we'd do an easy one tonight. You know, that way maybe Annette doesn't have to focus on the snow globe effect behind me. She can kind of lock in on, you know, lock in with her guides and make her predictions tonight. So there we go. See, someone had a slip, Christian, right? Squash soup. Yeah, it is soup and chowder season, folks. Good, good, good. So, okay, so before Annette gets here, just a quick reminder. This is our usual Marathon Wednesday night show that we're doing for you. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m., we're going to play the 2020 prediction show. It was shot in December of 2020 for 2021, right? And that's going to be just like that last hour. It's a recorded show. Well, we'll have a live chat in case people want to pop in and have fun with that tomorrow. It's an interesting one, right? We're at the height of COVID mania back then. No one really knew what was going on. A lot of stuff up in the air. So that was an interesting show. So that's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Friday night, we're replaying, and we referenced this a lot in that last show, the Linda G and Annette New Year's show that they did last year for 2022. So that'll be Friday night at 7. And then we're going to replay this with a live chat Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time in case folks miss it. Or I do that all just so we can, I mean, I'm a fan of the live chat. And so whenever people just want to come in and hang out, I'd rather have that live chat component be part of the show, which means it plays as a premiere video, instead of just having a marathon show like that just sort of float on its own like a regular video. So anyway, I ramble, but that's what I do as I buy time. Oh, and without further ado, folks, our resident psychic is here. Fingers crossed, everybody. Fingers crossed. Audio's connected. That's a good sign.
Hang on.
All right.
Am I here?
You're here.
Am I on?
You're here.
Did you guys have fun? Look at your background.
What? Do you like that?
I have a calendar.
I like it. There's a lunar calendar. Yeah.
Yeah, my niece made it, and they're for sale on my website. I think they're out. They're $20 and shipping is free because they're going to be a little late.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. So Annette, I should tell you, so that we already have a couple hundred people in the room.
Oh, wow. It's like a free audience.
It's a big night. So question number one is, what took
just like that, you're just going to jump right into it?
What took you so long to get from that last chat into this room?
I was like kind of, getting the lights going and making some tea. Getting my candy cane, it's for girls. It takes a lot longer.
You don't do anything like you go in like the green room or backstage and you get together with the producers and stuff and maybe have a prayer circle like how bands do before they come out on stage. Do you do something like that?
I'll be working towards that for the new year.
Yeah, we should have done that at the studio today before the test.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. It was there. I can just see a lot of tweaks that we can make, but that was the point.
It was right. Yeah, it was fun. Fun. So what's cool are we have a lot of our longtime friends and followers are with us tonight, which is great. And then lots of new names too. Lots of new names, which is awesome. So hello. If you're new to the channel, thanks for all the thumbs up and the new subs. We love it. I am Kory from Bridge Cape Ann. Annette and I are longtime friends. She is a psychic. We're both coming to you from Gloucester, Massachusetts. It's on the northeast corner of Massachusetts. Every Wednesday night, Annette and I go live where she fields your questions in real time. I also go on earlier in the week to get questions and have live chats with folks just because it's fun and I enjoy it. If you're new, you'll notice all the action in the live chat, whether you participate or not. It's an awesome community filled with love and light and all those good things. And that's why we love spending time with each other. And we have great moderators, Annalie Finch, Christian Montone, Thankful Mom, I hope, will join us tonight too. And they're with us every time Annette and I are on. So we're really appreciative of their efforts too. And we should have a fun show tonight. So thanks so much for being with us. Do you want to say hello, Annette?
Oh, I can talk now.
I got to set the table. I had to talk for 10 straight minutes because you were, I don't know, finishing your soup. You wanted to lap around the block.
I did have soup. How did you know I had soup?
Everyone's eating soup tonight.
Were people in the chat eating soup?
Yeah, everyone's, yeah. What soup are you eating, folks? Let us know.
Homemade soup? Pretty much?
Yeah.
Well, I saw people in the chat. I was on for a few minutes. I wasn't on for the whole thing. I remembered quite a bit of it. And then quite a bit of it, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. These people that are in our audience are the greatest, most awesome. They give me hope. When you're thinking that people just, ask and you know what I mean? I'm not going to swear. And that everyone's mean and everyone's, fill in the blank in life. And then you get to see how people really are doing a show like this. It's just really inspiring and uplifting. So I just want it from the bottom of my heart, the bottom of Kory's wreath. Thank you so much.
Wow.
We wouldn't be us if you weren't there.
All right, let's get right to the doom and destruction for 2023. On that,
do you have some doozies?
No, but I mean, there's always heavy stuff going on, but there's also a sense of renewal, and I think people appreciate.
That's why we're here, because there's a lot of heavy stuff going on. I'm going to put on my Happy New Year earrings.
Oh, there you go.
Happy New Year. I know you can't really see them. I got them off of eBay.
Very nice. No, you mean you got them at the local mom and pop shop right around the corner from you.
Supporting somebody who has a small business. I'm not sure where it was, but if you look up earrings on eBay, festive New Year's earrings. Yeah, do you know that I just had to open my window way wide because it was hot in here? The weather's crazy. I'm sorry, you were going to ask me a very profound, important question.
I wasn't. I was just.
And usually we're just kind of shooting the breeze for half an hour, so you're kind of like catching me off guard. Like we're supposed to be opening boxes and.
We're ahead of schedule. I do have Peeps though tonight. I have the candy cane Peeps.
Oh, we're starting. I have the stockings.
I have unopened gingerbread Peeps as well, too. But
good for you. I still have a whole unopened chicks, the peppermint chicks.
I'm not a big Peeps. By the way, folks, if you're new, for some reason, Peeps became the official.
Did you just say you're not a big Peeps fan? You're not supposed to say that.
I'm not a giant Peeps fan, but they became the official nutrient, the official vitamin of the psychic and the sidekick.
Anything in moderation is okay.
Yeah. Okay, so Annette, what do we want to start with tonight? Do we want to start with a community card or the moon phase? Where do you want to? I'll let that.
Well, it sounded like you were just going to jump into a question.
Well, I did. It was where were you for the first 10 minutes?
I must have shut off the show and then been like, oh, they must have 15 more minutes, and maybe you just ended right then.
No, that for some reason we did a show within 1 hour last year, the prediction show. And I remember we were joking about how long the show was with Linda. Like that we just did a 2-hour show, and that's like baby stuff for us now.
We went off the rails at one point.
Wait, hold on. Are we ringing the bell?
Already?
Did I miss Yoon? I'm seeing people yelling Yoon.
Now it's like the New
Oh yeah,
Year's
Yoon is
bell.
here.
Now it's like the New Year's bell. Earlier it was like you with the Santa hat, you know, the bell for the Salvation Army. You'd be good at that. And you have your sweater on. I have mine in the other room, but
You can put it on for the last hour, Annette.
it's
So
kind of warm.
yeah, so Yoon wishes everyone good morning. She's ringing her
Good
feng shui bell.
morning. How are things in tomorrow? It's tomorrow for her.
It is, yeah. Yeah. What's December 29th like, Yoon? Let us know.
I always feel good when I talk to people that are way, way, way east. It's like, okay, is everything good there for tomorrow? Or they give us like the preliminary report.
Yeah.
We're still here.
And also, if you're new to the channel, whatever Yoon says goes. That's all you need to know.
She must have a question.
I have a couple from Yoon. She came on last night.
Yeah, I'm picking up on you questions.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So yeah, tons of people in the chat now. Let's fire this thing up and enjoy our New Year's Eve spectacular with Annette Dion. You can find Annette at psychicannetteDion.com if you'd like a personal reading, folks.
Please.
Or you can always find out about her upcoming class schedule as well.
You know what, too? My assistant just sent me a list of things I need to say. I'll say them later.
When you're ready though, unfurl it like a big roll of paper, like you're making a decree. Like, I have things to say.
I might not have time to do that now, but maybe next time. What is this? Is this the show for 2023? Or are we doing another show? Because we did like 4 last year.
We're almost out of 2022.
Well, we can do a show on Saturday.
No, why aren't you doing it? You're going out for New Year's Eve. You're going to the castle.
It starts at 9.
Yeah. What do you want to do? I don't know what I'm doing yet for New Year's. I honestly don't know what I'm doing.
You have a life. I don't. So we don't have to.
You don't want this life, Annette.
Well, act as if. Kory, you want to talk about it?
It's fine. Everything's
counselor too, you know. I'm not just tarot reader.
So everything's good. Everything's
okay.
Good.
These are the cards I used last year, so I pulled them out. I'm gonna ask my pendulum if this is the best deck to use.
Okay, here we go, folks.
Is this the best deck to use? Oh, it's liking it. We'll go with that. Okay. What's your question?
Our question: are we starting with a community card or a moon phase, Annette?
Well, we did that earlier, but I'll do it again.
Please do. Yeah, let's start.
The moon is, in fact, in the sign of Pisces, so it's a really floaty day. You feeling floaty? Are you feeling floaty? It looks like it. You got, things flying all around your head there.
My head is a snow globe, a continuous snow globe.
You kind of look like a 2023 snow globe. You great, and you're the centerpiece. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put a dome around them.
This is what's going on inside my head at all times.
So the moon is in Pisces, which is dreamy, which is great for meditation, which is really a gentle sign. All the Pisces that I know, I have 3 in my family, including my parents, are they kind of like, they're just kind of easygoing and, just let the chips fall where they will. So this is not like a fiery or, lots of air thought. It's not that kind of a day. It's just like, if you've just been hanging out and being lazy, not the Pisces are lazy, but just being kind of more in receptive mode, that would be suitable. That suits the energy of today. What else did you do today? We did the show at 11. Yeah,
then we broke up the show into small pieces. I got to play with those, and people just wanted to see some of the clips from that show we did earlier today. So I did that. I had to do some work this afternoon too.
Oh, good. So you got some clips.
Yeah, we got 9 or 10 clips from today's show.
I heard that shorts are where it's at.
Well, the shorts are those are the quick, minute-long things, like an Instagram story almost for you.
Yeah.
We can start doing some of those as well. But we actually have clips where, some of your answers are a minute long, some are 6-7 minutes long. We have those we can break down for people. But it needs a crew. And then luckily we had a crew with us today, which was very helpful.
Yeah, it was different.
Yeah,
definitely.
Very different. All right. Ready to roll? Okay, folks.
Yep.
And away we go with our 2023 prediction show. Question number one comes from Christina Haftman. That's a new name. So hello, Christina.
Oh, hi. Welcome.
And she asked, Annette, what's going to be done to protect our substations? More are attacked in Washington state.
Well, a few days ago, somebody asked if there would be more attacks. Was it you?
It was asked in our show.
And I said yes. And then there were. It was last Wednesday or the Wednesday before. Well, it would be helpful if we all just sat down as individual citizens and wrote a list of what we all as individuals in a collective need to stand up against. And that is, it's incited, that kind of violence is incited by violent rhetoric. It's like the domestic terrorist groups became more vicious and more focused since Trump, because Trump kind of just gave permission. I was so polite in our video about Trump. Did you notice that? Last year I was polite. I mean, yeah. Well, we were still in 2021.
Little did we know.
Yeah. So what's happened is the violent rhetoric has been just allowed to just keep going. And we haven't had any way of curbing it, at least, of reining it in. So there will be more. There will be action taken. But we really have to stand up as citizens and speak out against, there used to be something called the fairness doctrine. And I'm just referring to that because it made sure that people were hearing the truth. But we haven't had any law against violent rhetoric, but that would have curbed it back then when we had a fairness doctrine which basically, in a nutshell, I'll just give you the general version of it, was that your reporting had to be truthful to the best of your ability. The reporting, the news had to be truthful, and we had to listen to both sides of the issue. But this, lying is just creating violence because the lies are inciting a rage about things that aren't true. I don't see it stopping. I'm just going to say it. In other words, that's the one was it Washington State, I think?
Mm-hmm, yes.
There was North Carolina and then Washington State. The violent rhetoric has to stop. It's too prevalent. It's too much permitted. Will there be more? There'll be more attacks on power stations. What this is doing is it's going to cause people to, remember today I pulled the 10 of Swords, which is the anger card. It's going to cause people to get really angry. Like, we have to bond together and do something as a collective. Yeah, I wasn't really asking a question. The pendulum agrees. Okay, so will there be, how many can we anticipate in 2023? 1? Doesn't mean they're going to happen. 2, 3. Yeah, see, now it's going around and it's not really giving. So I see at least 3. And the thing about the pendulum is, there's so many variables and so many things that could shift the situation. That's why it's doing this. That's why it's going around kind of crazy. Like, my pendulum has been nutty lately.
Yeah, don't knock yourself out there.
I know.
An abrupt end of the show.
It really has.
You passed out in your chair.
It's been kind of nuts. So it's unfortunately, yeah, but that's the reason is that we've been too free with our allowing violent rhetoric to just, like Trump would say things all the time. The whole time he was in office, he said violence inciting things, and he's still doing it. And there are people that are that crazy that will just go along. you know, like what happened to Nancy Pelosi's husband. They'll just go out there and do it.
Mm-hmm.
And Carrie Lake is another one who's talking about, you know, she's telling people go get arrested. Why doesn't she go get arrested? Would you do that? It's like, it's crazy. It's like, Kory, go beat up that guy for me.
Yeah.
Right? And you'll get arrested, but just go beat him up anyway. Would you do it?
People do that. Depends on the situation.
I tried to trap you there.
Yeah.
Did you catch that? How much do you love me, Kory? Oh my goodness. I saw your comment that you were so polite. Remember last week I said, because we watched the other, and I'm like, we were so civil. What happened?
I know. It's hard. It's hard doing this. Okay, so
hard to be civil.
Yeah. Yeah. So piggybacking that, a handful of people asked, will the fairness doctrine be reinstated?
I think so.
Hmm.
I think so. I did see something like that. I'm always trying to remember, did I say it on this show or did I say it on my show? I did ask that question, and I got that the Democrats would pass something that would make at least rein in the violent rhetoric. Because like I said earlier today, you can't just have people going out there saying, go kill that person, and think that that's not going to be a high risk situation. And every one of the people on the January 6th committee, massive amounts of death threats. Dr. Fauci, massive amounts of death threats. Nancy Pelosi, as we know, death threats galore. And if you just, what's weird is, like, if you're a kind and lovely person who wants people to be treated fairly, these crazies think that you should be punished for that. That's nuts. Nuts. Is there another question? Did I miss something?
No, we played right into the fairness doctrine question, which is good. Just a follow-up. That was from the live chat, which was nice. Okay.
What was the question that you said? I just fell into the next question.
Will the fairness doctrine be reinstated? As you were talking about the fairness doctrine in the last question, it went into that, and then folks in the live chat asked for a follow-up. So
exactly. Yeah, I do think that it will. I see the Democrats spearheading it, and I think it's going to be like middle of the year, like June, July-ish, that something is put in place. Unfortunately, I feel that it's as a result of some violent situation. We have so many of them. It's so tragic to even have to say that and be aware of that. But I feel like after that, something's going to be done. Because I was sort of like connecting it to Elon Musk when I was picking up on a violent incident that was incited on Twitter. And I'm just saying that let's please project that doesn't happen. You know, I don't want to be saying, oh, be worried about that, because I would never tell anyone to be worried, but just be aware that we can change it with our thoughts. We can change the trajectory of the potential negative event by praying and, you know, intending something different.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
My thing still says Annette's iPad. I've got to figure that out.
Oh, I can change that for you in a heartbeat. That's easy. Well, we'll do that afterwards.
Okay.
No one can see it. Put it that way.
Oh.
We only see when you're about to enter the chat, when the audio is hooking up and all that, but that's it. But don't have to worry about it. Okay, so we got this question earlier today, but obviously I think it's at the forefront of most people's minds. So we can touch upon it here, and then I have more specifics based off of this question. So basically, Annette, will the conflict in Ukraine end in 2023?
Yeah. You said you have a follow-up question?
I do. So Ursula Becker then asked, Annette, would Ukraine have to sacrifice some of its land in order to end the war?
No. No, I think Ukraine gets to keep everything. I'll pull 3 cards about that. That's a good question.
Okay. I have then I'll have my own personal follow-up to that.
I said it earlier. I've been saying it in my videos all along. The end of January, the start of February, I see something shifting. And I see that it's not sustainable what Putin's doing. That doesn't look like a card of, suffering. This is rising, being able to rise above the situation. This signifies freedom. This is Zelensky. This is brand new start, but is going to need a lot of help. The Ukrainians are going to need a lot of help. I just see a time when the weapons just stop flying through the air. And I'll ask again. I can just keep on asking. Is it January of 2023? Is it February of 2023? March. Okay, so it feels like it's going to start winding down. January, February. It looks like by March it will be done. But I mean, substantial slowdown the end of January 23. And everybody intends that. Like, I posted the picture of John Lennon and Yoko holding the sign, "War is over, if you want it." He was such an evolved being. If you want it, if we want it, if we keep intending, we want the war to end. It's remarkable. And I've said before that when I tune into Putin, what's in there is not human. Did I say that to you?
Does the lollipop help you think?
Actually, it does. It's a candy cane lollipop.
Yeah. It's a nice touch.
Oh. Still Christmas, kind of. My lights are still up.
Well, so Annette, let me ask you this then about Russia and Ukraine. Will there be justice?
I think he'll be dead. The views on this channel are for entertainment purposes only.
Oh yeah, believe me, we have our wrench people are reminding everyone. We have a whole host of new names in here tonight. So our wrenchmen are on their toes.
No, thank you. No reflection on Mr. Kory. The other night I did a reading, and I think it was last night, and I felt this. I was like, oh, he's tuned into Putin, and there's nobody in there. What's inside him is not human. He's possessed. And I was like, it's like these dark walls are closing in. And then I went, oh my God, that sounds like a coffin. And then I had to shut up because I couldn't go any further with that. Because, I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah. Which happens frequently. Annette, so Warren Green has asked, are there any messages from John Lennon?
I just told it to you.
Yeah.
He was holding a sign with Yoko. You've probably seen the picture before. It's kind of a famous picture. And they're holding up a white sign with black letters that says, "War is over, if you want it." John Lennon said, imagine all the people living in peace. That was his message. That's about the power of intending. He was really ahead of his time. He was. But he's a strong presence. And I think, too, when I tune into him, I always get play more love songs. Not necessarily romantic love, but, play more songs about love and togetherness. Let's hear one from Kory. Sing a song of love.
Well, that's how we end each show, folks, if you're new. So you can.
You have to stay to the end. Kory's going to sing a love song at the end.
Stay tuned but I will say that yesterday, in fact, I actually watched a podcast. Kevin Nealon, remember Kevin Nealon from Saturday Night Live?
I get them mixed up. I don't know who's who.
Kevin Nealon is the tall one. So if you think of Hans and Franz, Dana Carvey was one, and then Kevin Nealon was the other. He's a tall. You would know him in a heartbeat.
Dana Carvey's so funny.
So he has his own video/podcast where basically he's hiking around Los Angeles, usually with a celebrity and talking to them. Well, anyway, he was with Julian Lennon recently too, and it was really cool listening to Jude talking about his father. It was really cool, and whether he watched the big Apple release of the massive documentary from a couple of years ago, and it was interesting. I should pass that along to you when I have a chance.
Yeah, I definitely like to watch it.
Yeah.
I wonder if he talked about how sick he was of that song.
No, he didn't. He was really chill. It was good. And it's always, whenever you see any of the Beatles' sons, it's all, isn't it? It's just always weird because they all look so much like their fathers. Like George Harrison's son looks exactly like George Harrison.
I know. I remember that big concert.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I think he was channeling his father.
Annette, ring the bell, please.
Okay.
There you go. Karen Good just walked by and poured a glass of champagne for us in the tip jar. So thank you, Karen.
Very good.
Yeah. Cheers, cheers.
I'm going to get closer to you.
You do that. Ursula, thanks for that last question. Hope that helps. If you're new to the chat, how's everyone doing tonight? I'm Kory. She's Annette. She's a psychic. I'm the sidekick. We do this every Wednesday for you, but this is our special New Year's end prediction show for 2020.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, unbelievable, right?
Gosh, it's crazy.
All right, Annette. Our next question comes from Damon. We all know and love Damon, right?
Hey, Damon.
He's with us all the time. And of course, he's got to ask a question about the Royals. Damon loves his Royals. And his question is, Annette, will King Charles step down because of health or scandal?
Not because of scandal, and I don't see him stepping down. How come everyone's so anxious for him to step down?
I don't know, but we just talked last night about how Andrew got tossed, right? Officially from Buckingham.
Well, he needed to step down. He's a skanky, disgusting human.
Oh, I wasn't expecting to hear the word skanky tonight, but there we go.
That's justified.
Skanky could be the word for 2023. Well, stay tuned.
No, but the word for 2023 I heard is gaslighting.
Do you remember what our word for 2022 was? Think.
Was it on the video?
Not that last one, but from the show we did with Linda.
No, I don't. What was it?
Dog balls.
That wasn't the word for 2022.
That's good. Well, she said it 900 times.
The rails that night. I was just like, all right, whatever.
There's a lot going on. Annette, if you would, please ring the bell.
Do you have a bell over there?
I don't have a bell. You're our bell keeper.
I'm going to give you a bell.
You're our caroliner. Because we just got another glass of champagne poured by Judith Dion.
Judith.
You know Judith?
Judith, we're having classes in January. You need to sign up. Everyone needs to sign up for the classes in January. Every Saturday we do classes based around the law of attraction.
Are you and Judith related?
No, we're not actually.
Wow.
No.
Maybe she just took your last name because she's a fan.
I think it's not her actual
See?
Maiden name.
Well, Judith, am I right? Did you take it because you're an Annette follower?
No, it's really her name.
We'll see.
Really
we'll see if Christian changes his name to Christian Dion. We'll know that we're onto something here.
That's true. I think they should take your name.
My last name? Good luck.
Kory.
Yeah, good luck with that one. It's a Sicilian one, folks. It's Curcuru. Have fun with that.
I feel sorry for people that have to spell their names all the time. Right? Didn't you have to spell your name all the time? Well, growing up here, maybe not, but
I'll tell you what blows my mind is how many people I know or I'm related to or follow the bridge that get my first name wrong. Spelling it. It happens all the time, even in the chat. No one can spell my name right.
How do you know you're not like talking to them?
I can see it. I can see it all the time in the live chat.
They spell it wrong, but
oh yeah,
they might say it right.
But my name's right in front of them most of the time.
It's not spoken like it looks.
What are you talking about?
It's Kory. It's Kory.
I'm talking about my first name.
Okay.
I mean, there's no excuse for that. The last name, right.
Yeah. I
first name? Yeah, oh, Judith says that's her previously married name.
Yeah, I thought so.
Those Dion's got around, huh?
She liked it because she kept it because it's short and it's easy to spell.
Yeah, that's a good one.
By the way, but just on the topic of Dion, Celine Dion is very ill and we have to send her a lot of white light. I do think that we're related very distantly. I'm pretty certain about that. So just I watched her short video about this disease that she has, and I really felt like she was a sister. So send her a lot of light and a lot of love. And she was talking about how much she loves to sing. I can relate to that. And not that I can sing like her, but she loves to sing. And it's like, if you really, really, really love to do something and you can't do it, that is so painful. I do feel like she's going to get better. Okay.
Man, it almost makes me want to hear you sing a song before the end the show tonight.
I've been here before, but we can get. I'm having all these copyright claim
an original. You could do an original. You can't do Christmases.
I did a show with my friend Sean, live streaming in from Nashville last week.
How'd it go?
Well, but we were test driving the YouTube live thing, and but it was great. But we're gonna work on the sound quality, and it was all original music, and I got a copyright claim, probably because we have copyrights on our songs.
Yeah, could be BS,
Yeah,
but it could be.
That shouldn't be a strike against me. So when I sing something, I have to make sure that it's public domain, because you can't even sing someone else's song.
Yeah, stick to Happy Birthday. But hopefully
That's
Michael
public
Jackson's clan doesn't sue you.
It's public domain. For Church of Spirituality, I play hymns.
Yeah.
Those are public domain. For the most part they are. Anyway.
I will say this, so a lot of people are commenting that Jamie Raskin has been diagnosed with lymphoma.
Did that just happen today? That's new news.
Yes. So I don't know
He's
if you have
on.
initial
I think he's
impression.
on at 8:00 on MSNBC.
Is that right?
He's being interviewed. That man is a saint. Okay, we have to send Jamie Raskin lots of love and light. You know, I was thinking today of how many people that I know that have had cancer and recovered. Right? Don't you?
Yeah.
So he could recover.
And Linda Sabo is one of them. We do shows with her. She looks and feels great.
Yeah, everybody knows people that are survivors. So it's not a death sentence like it used to be.
Good.
Yeah, ready? Next question.
The next question, here's a sort of a different one. This is from Claire. She's a new viewer, so she says hello. And she asks,
Hi, welcome.
Annette, are all spirit guides good, or are some evil who give misinformation?
You have to be very careful doing this work, because if you're not centered and grounded and happy, and you don't take authority over your energy, then you can potentially be susceptible to beings that can trick you into thinking, I'm your guide, and they're really not. Now, I'm not saying that they're all demonic, but there are some forces that want to that aren't in your best interest. So read the question again so I can be more specific with my answer.
Are all spirit guides good, or are some evil who give misinformation?
Your spirit guides are all good and all loving. Let's just be clear about that. Your spirit guides that you've had since the day you were born and in other lifetimes. We have many spirit guides that travel with us through lifetimes. We have spirit guides that were with us in a past lifetime in physical human form, and they didn't come into human physical form this lifetime, but they're still with you. We kind of do this trade-off thing with our guides. Your actual spirit guides are all good and all loving, 100%. I'm just saying that if you're in a dark place and you're in a vulnerable place and you're asking for information, but you're feeling scared and vulnerable, like energy attracts like energy. And the dark forces want you to feel like you've been kicked down. The dark forces want you to feel defeated and to feel depressed and to feel, really, really sad. And really, that's what the dark forces want. So I'm just saying, we live in a world of duality, and there are beings that have nefarious intent. I was trying to put that in such a way that nobody would get scared by my answer. Are you scared right now?
No.
Okay. I'll go with that.
No.
But your actual guides are all good and all loving. So let me just elaborate on that just a little bit.
Okay.
If the messages coming to you feel inspiring and they uplift you. And you, it's like, when somebody tells you something that is a really, really good news story and you feel energized by that, that's guidance. That's real guidance. It has to feel good, like warm and uplifts you. That's guidance.
I like questions like that, Annette, and answers like that.
Yeah, it challenges me to put it in the right words.
Yeah, right.
So
it's good to hear. All right, well, we appreciate the question. The next one comes from our old friend, Sid Roik.
It's been a while.
Been a while for Sid.
Yeah, where's Sid been? Hey, Sid, where you been?
But here's his question, Annette. Can we expect the Joy to finally be ousted from the post office in 2023?
Yes, I think we get this question every show.
Yeah, he's a hot topic.
In the spring. I keep getting April. Around tax day. He's out of there. Like the guys are showing me like somebody trying to like slide into home plate. He's out of there. He's out of there. He sucks at this game. Oh, excuse me. Is that
Skank sucks? My God, Dion.
Somebody sent me a calendar. I must have a trash mouth because
was that lollipop laced with anything?
Somebody sent me a calendar. I left it in my car. I don't know who it was. It didn't have a return address. Ask Warren if he sent me a calendar that had swear words all over it.
Warren's in here. He'll answer that. Yeah. Wait, I even forgot. Did you have dinner tonight?
I had lunch and I brought a big salad and I brought the soup that I made yesterday.
But did you eat it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
I didn't finish the soup, but I wasn't that hungry.
No, it's good. We know what happens when you're on an empty
What
stomach.
did you have?
What did I have today? I had baked stuffed shrimp this afternoon.
You did? Where were you? I should have met you.
That was from my mom, actually.
We need to do the show from your mom's.
I know, one of these days. Actually, I thought when we actually have the home studio done, to just invite her over for the days we do shows to cook for us.
Yeah, but no, we have to go to your mama's kitchen.
We can, but
yeah, because when you she's a Sicilian mama, right? And she's got to have all their, the right spoons and the right knives and the right everything, spices and we understand. Maybe you don't cook like that.
I'm sorry. I'm just looking at some good questions here. The chat's coming tonight. Are you ready for the next one?
I was born ready, Kory.
Okay, Sid, thanks for that last question. Our next question comes from longtime viewer Dorothy Leach. Dorothy, how you doing, Dorothy?
Hi, Dorothy.
Annette, as she asked, will the two parties in Congress be able to work together and negotiate in order to get some of Biden's agenda accomplished?
That's too general of a question. Can you
really
make it less general? Well,
well, do you see the two parties cooperating more in 2023?
Well, it's kind of like it's too general of a question because it's going to be really tumultuous as soon as they get in. I'm having a really tough time with this. Talk about a big lie. These are insurrectionists. Over 100 Republicans that are slated to be sworn in are election deniers and connected to the insurrection. And everybody just could sort of sit back and take this in. They're going to be putting their hands on the Bible or whatever religion they belong to. They'll put their hand on that book and solemnly swear to protect the United States from all enemies, foreign and domestic, and to protect our Constitution. And they already broke that. So, several of them got reelected. So they already broke their oath. So there's something wrong with America right now that's what we're looking at right now. Plus this Santos guy, which I really need to do a read on. You know about him.
Mm-hmm.
See, the thing about this show, Kory, is you have to keep up with what's going on.
It's been a fun
With the
2022.
It's like,
I
better
get,
check that. Yeah, I don't know his first name. Maybe they can put it in the chat. So their plan is to be the majority in the House, which I don't see lasting, to have the majority in the House and to wreak havoc. That is their plan. They are planning right now. They're scheming right now to wreak havoc with our country. So everybody take a deep breath. This is what they're currently planning to do. And if you doubt me, I felt January 6, 2021. I felt it. I was completely scared. I had nobody to talk to about what I was picking up on, but it wasn't all psychic impression. We knew there was going to be an attack. We didn't know exactly what it was going to look like. So the Republicans right now are planning to wreak havoc with this country. They're planning to take down our democracy. This is not conspiracy. This is factual. So what I see happening is they will get in. The big lie is that they're going to take an oath and they don't mean it, not one iota. They don't mean it at all. Because they're hell-bent on taking down our country. So they will go on there like, oh, we're going to investigate Hunter Biden's laptop, which is a total made-up story. Totally fabricated. There's no substance to it at all. Just like this whole voter fraud thing, like what Kari Lake is doing in Arizona. Oh, there was voter fraud. Where is the evidence? There's nothing to prove it. So there's nothing to prove Hunter Biden has a laptop with things that shouldn't be on it. There's nothing to prove that Dr. Fauci did anything but help this country through this pandemic and many pandemics. And they want to investigate these people. So they're capable of wreaking havoc. And they will. So get ready for that massive wake-up call. We've had so many wake-up calls, and eventually everyone's going to be woke and be glad that they are. January, February, March. I mean, we're going to have to get really steely in our resolve to not cave in. Because what fascism wants you to do is to cave in and to give up hope and to just be in despair and walk away. But we got to find the Ukrainians within us. I just made that up. But I like that sentiment. Find the Ukrainian within you. I really mean it. They're going to wreak havoc till about March, April. I just feel like these indictments are going to come and the DOJ is going to recognize, they do recognize it, but it's a matter of strategy and how they're going to handle all this. You know, Jack Smith and Merrick Garland and the rest of there's many people in the Department of Justice. They recognize that the DOJ recognizes that what is on them is to save America. That's not an exaggeration. To save this country from fascism. That is what the DOJ is aware has to happen. The reason it's taken so long is that they have to get it absolutely right on all fronts. So January is going to be tough. February is going to be tough. March is going to be tough. And then I feel just like a spring thaw, things are going to start turning in a different direction. I see the economy picking up. I see things that, the bills that have been signed this year, which there have been many. If you want to see what Joe Biden has done, you'll buckle your brain how much good he's done for this country. We just haven't seen it yet because it's like the seeds have been planted this year. Here's exactly what I'm talking about. This is the pain. The Eight of Pentacles, and then we rebuild. Now, like I said, we can intend for it to be not so bad, but they've pretty much already told us what they plan to do. And I don't know if you have any questions about Marjorie Taylor Greene and Kevin McCarthy, but Kevin McCarthy is giving this crazy woman with absolute fascist tendencies who thinks Viktor Orban is like God, not to mention Putin. And Kevin McCarthy's just like giving her free reign. That's what we're up against coming up, but it's not going to last. It's not, their chaos and turmoil will not last, because I do see people behind bars. I do see people behind bars. Despite the craziness that will, unfold. Sometimes it's the hardest of times that create a big shift. I'm sorry, was I just way too negative?
You're out of lollipop, so I thought we were going to crash at some point.
I have more. No, but I did say it's going to be a few months. And then it will turn around, because I see the Democrats in the majority. And when the Democrats are in the majority, we're going to be in good shape. But we have to kind of weed out the evil and the darkness, and we all have to be hyper focused. On Tuesdays, I have a meditation visualization group. Go to my website and find the page and just put in your email address, and you can get the Zoom invite every Tuesday. I've said enough about that.
Good. We want to roll on the same subject. We can if you want.
I don't know. I might go on another rant.
Well, how about this one from Lisa? Will Trump run as an independent and split the GOP?
Look at what's being assumed in that.
You can talk it out. That's fine.
Well. Just can you dissect that the first part?
Will Trump run? Will Trump run as an independent?
Okay, will Trump run as? Do we really know that he's really running? That's the answer. That's my answer. Do we really know that he's really running? So I can't go any further with that, because that's where I am with it.
I stayed quiet. I thought it was a profound moment on the show.
We're having deep thoughts.
All right. How about this one from Anna Hutchinson? Annette, when is the United States going to upgrade the power grid?
Well, it's not the entire United States that's really problematic. It's states that have, governors that have all this funding, all this federal money, and they're not using it to fix things. So here's, I mentioned earlier that last night when I did a reading on my channel, my PNN, it's just a short one, it's just a half an hour. I was looking at the power grid in Texas, and I was looking also at the energy of this country and why we're having such a hard time, and we're being stolen from. The money to fix things like the power grid, think about how many corporations that aren't paying taxes, when the corporations pay taxes, not pay more in taxes, literally pay their freaking taxes. And then with all of us paying our taxes, we have plenty of money. The corruption is what's keeping us from updating things like the power grid. Read the question again.
When is the United States going to upgrade the power grid?
When the corruption stops. I see 2023 as a year that it's almost like everything gets exposed. Like the Supreme Court, it's just like we just see it all. It's right in front of our eyes. And when everything's being revealed, if we don't do anything about it, then that's on us, just as a collective, then that's on us. If we don't do anything when it's all being revealed, like if we know that corporations are stealing from us, pharmaceutical companies are stealing from us, the oil companies are stealing from us, the utility companies, and I'm just saying that we're being gouged, and this is factual. When we just don't want that and speak up as a collective, it will change. It will not change if we don't recognize that we have to speak out. And it doesn't take much. It takes a little bit of involvement of every individual. Yeah, I think it's going to reach a point. It's going to reach crisis point. With the bad weather and the power grids going down, a lot of these lines need to be under the ground. Like all those terrible hurricanes we've had, so many you can't even count them, where the power lines go down. Every big storm, the power lines go down. They can all be under the ground. So it will be when things come to a head, kind of. And the Seven of Wands, we will rebuild slowly. I don't see anything happening till late in 2023. Anything substantial enough that it's going to last for the long term. I mean, I'm amazed when I read on this country, especially lately. It's like, oh my God, we're being stolen from at every turn. Like, look at Ron DeSantis in Florida. He stole the COVID money. He just took it. Okay, you can say your little disclaimer now. I give you permission.
Well, half the chat says it for me. I let you go. It's all good.
They're stealing the money. They need to be called out for it. And they're committing heinous crimes. Abbott and DeSantis are kidnapping people. Poor innocent people. Those can be considered, and in a war, that would be considered a war crime. We got to all get together and work as a collective. We don't. What's that line? We don't. We don't want to get to the point where it's like, oh, we didn't know what we had till it was gone. We don't want to get to that point. I promise. Okay. How about a happy question?
Well, Annette unwraps another lollipop. We'll remind you that as now the top of the hour. It is just after 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Annette and I are coming out to you from Gloucester, Massachusetts. We do this for you every Wednesday night, but this is our special New Year's Eve spectacular show. I'm Kory for Bridge Cape Ann, the sidekick. She is Annette Dion, resident psychic, and you can
spectacular.
Yeah, you can learn more about her at psychicannetdion.com and book your own personal reading. So there is that. And we are answering your questions tonight. We had this one from the live chat not long ago from Ellie. Annette, will there ever be a united Ireland?
Oh, that's kind of out of left field.
Yeah, I like that. Let's go around the world.
I do think so. Yes, I do think so.
Really?
I feel like it's on its way. Which gives me a lot of optimism, because it makes me feel like there will be a wave of higher vibrational energy and people will come together. And actually, I see what sort of preempts that is these global climate change catastrophes. When you're in a catastrophe, you want to reach out to people. You have to reach out to people, right? And I just want everybody to know that my guides have said there isn't anybody who's not going to be affected directly or indirectly by global climate change. Nobody. Nobody's going to get away with, oh, it didn't touch me. Nobody. Think about it. This past couple years are the first time in my life that I have had to say to people, you might want to move. Or they tell me that they had to move because of the weather. Soon I'll be saying that to me and you.
From our life raft.
Where are you going to go?
I don't know. I mean, I figure in a couple of years, Kansas might have some nice oceanfront property.
Yeah, I know. Maybe Tennessee too. I might go back to Tennessee, but they have a lot of tornadoes.
And Bubba's on a roll tonight. So, all right, we're good with that.
Bubba, where's Bubba?
He's back in the closet behind me, digging something up. I don't know what.
I think it'd be funny if you just busted through that sign.
Cool. I'm standing though. He can't. I don't know what he's doing back there. But anyway, okay. Thanks for the question, whoever that was. All right, now we always get this question at the end of a year. This is from
whoever that was. How do you not know who it was?
Well, because I'm bouncing all over the place here.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what's going on. There's a lot of. Oh no, that was from Ellie. In the live chat. That's why I lose it once it pops up in the live chat. The live chat's flying tonight. We have 500 plus people in here right now, so it's moving.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
This is our largest audience ever, Annette.
Good to see you, even though I can't see a thing.
Yeah, it's for the best.
I just imagine all those people are like those snowflakes that have fallen around you.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, or dandruff. You never know. The next question comes from Dancing in the Street. She was always
Wait, the last time you had snow falling too.
well. I like wintry scenes. I like wintry backgrounds.
Do you like winter?
I do like winter. I actually do like winter. Yeah.
I actually do too. I'd rather be a little, just out walking in the chill rather than hot.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be feeling more and more like that as the years
go on. Makes you feel more attentive.
I'd rather be cold than hot.
Yeah, makes you feel more attentive when you're cold, when it's cold compared to.
Yeah, not too cold.
Yeah. Ellie thanks us, by the way. She says blessings from Ireland. I actually think that the bridge Cape Ann may actually be in Ireland in 2023. That's some breaking news.
Can I come?
We do a show. If Ellie can, Annette and I stay at your place for a couple of days and do a show.
My grandma was a full-blooded Irish woman.
Really?
Yeah.
You have to have relatives over there. There are gonna be Dion's all over the place.
No, that's the French side.
I told you, I try.
I'm trying to remember what her last name was. I don't even know. Isn't that bad? It's bad.
Yeah, folks, if you'd like to see the psychic and sidekick hit the road, we'd be glad to stay at your place and do shows there anytime you want. All you have to do is feed us, bathe us, and clothe us.
We're kind of high maintenance.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta deal with it.
I need a spot for my meditation and yoga that's private.
Yeah. Keep the cupboards filled with
I only eat healthy food and Peeps.
These things are hard as a rock in it. I gotta dip those in hot
chocolate.
chocolate.
Why didn't you put them? You can't. Once you open them, you have to put them in like the plastic something with a Ziploc.
Bubble wrap or something. I don't know.
Yeah. You can't just leave them out.
Our next question, Annette, comes from Dancing in the Street, who asks, Annette, will we see any major medical advances in 2023? We always get this question, but do you see anything in particular where there's a big advancement? We've talked about it before throughout the year.
Yeah, we had the exact same question last show where I can just repeat myself.
Sure, that's fine.
There's, I think, no, actually, I don't think it was the exact same question. I think the question was before, what's the biggest technological development that we'll see?
Oh yeah, we didn't get that.
And I saw something that can be implanted under your skin if you have, if you're like high risk for certain things. A chip that goes under your skin that monitors things. I think they kind of have something like that already, but it's not a chip under the skin. I feel like the technology for that is already exists. But that's too general of a question. I mean, it's a fine question, but it's just way too general because there's going to be medical advancements in every single, area of medicine.
So I do know, Annette, that someone else in this batch of questions asked about any advances with Alzheimer's treatment. I know you've commented on this.
Yeah, and we got that question before, and I've always said that I see a drug that slows it down. Sort of feels like towards the end of this year. Time is a little hard to predict, but it does feel like it's pretty close. To slow it down, it's not like I see people, how the cholesterol drugs came out? I don't know, when was that, the 80s? And then people, you know what I mean? Like, it must have been around the 80s. There was a drug for cholesterol.
Yes.
You do remember that?
That was before, but it wasn't Lipitor. Was it something else, or am I right?
I think Lipitor is one. There's a lot of them now.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah. There's a lot. And now everybody in the chat's going to name you a cholesterol medication. So it feels like that with Alzheimer's, where they, a few people are on it, and then more people are on it, and then more people don't get full-blown Alzheimer's. More people get, it's interesting because the guys are kind of showing me with like a brain scan, there's holes in the brain for, in the actual brain. But it's like it prevents that from happening. So it slows it way down. So I see a preventative drug.
Interesting. All right, thanks for the question. We have another one. By the way, Ellie said she would host us in Ireland. There'd be plenty of hot whiskeys there.
What?
Can I tell you right now, I am so worried about going to Ireland because I may not come back. It seems like a kind of place where I may end up needing to stay.
Well, ask her what kinds of activities happen.
Activities. You sit in a
Besides drinking. I don't drink
Oh.
anymore, so it wouldn't be fun for me.
You look at green stuff and you drink. Be great.
Well, what else?
What else do you need?
I'd like to go visit some castles. Is that
Castles.
more Scotland than Ireland?
So I do that. While we wait on Ellie to answer that, our next question.
Some haunted castles in Ireland.
Why do they all have to be haunted? You don't like that.
No, it's not that they all have to be haunted. They just are. I never met a castle that wasn't haunted.
Whoa.
Have you?
I don't know.
That's why I'm going to the ball at the castle.
You love that stuff.
You should come.
I honestly don't know what I'm doing yet for New Year's Eve.
Just come. I'll be there. We'll have a great time.
I know we would. Good time.
I keep
trying
trying
to drop at midnight at the castle. You have any idea?
I've asked one, two. That's you're the third person I asked to come to the gala. I'll even pay for it.
But you've asked me 3 times.
No, Evan, I asked the other people 3 times.
Who else said no? Who said no?
Well, one of my friends is a musician, and his name is John. And I bumped into him the other night at a piano burning party. I have a picture.
A piano burning party?
Yes. These people in Essex. I don't know if you know them, but they actually, it's kind of a tradition.
Huh.
He's a doctor, and he and his wife, they have a nice place out and kind of, Essex is kind of a country-ish kind of place.
Yeah.
And every year somebody who's getting rid of a piano that is not tunable anymore, they burn it. I'm looking for my phone so I can show you the picture.
Hey,
but anyway, so I asked my friend John, and he said that he might have a gig, but so far he doesn't have a gig. Because he's the kind of musician that will he plays everything and he'll just show up and play.
Right.
And so if he doesn't have a gig, he might go, just to have someone to kind of talk to. Well, because I'm not going to know many people, I don't think. Here's the piano. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Wait, that's my new photo shoot. That's
I got new headshots. Congratulations.
Yeah, I did.
And what are you dancing around it? That's
cool. It's burning.
What is going on?
Every year they do this.
Yeah.
I hadn't been in a couple of years.
That's our version of Burning Man right there.
Man, honestly.
That's pretty wild.
People play it before it burns.
That's funny.
But anyway, yeah, so I asked him, and then I asked my sister. She's like, "Oh no, it's all couples." I'm like, "Who cares? Okay, I'm not gonna stay home just because it's all couples. It's so stupid."
Yeah, a lot of people like that.
To each his own. I know it's ridiculous. It's like you can't. I mean, because it's fun to people watch.
Yeah, that's what you do.
And at the castle, you can just kind of hide out in the corner. Where nobody can see you, and just
lots of dark corners at that castle.
Spy on people getting drunk and acting crazy.
That'd be me.
Next, a lot of that happened at the castle. A lot of that, shenanigans happened.
Oh yeah, of course. Annette, Colleen Braun, a longtime viewer, asks, "What does Annette see concerning future food shortages?"
Are you prepared for a rant?
I think I know how the show goes.
Well, the only reason I rant is because we really need to be conscious. With the war in Ukraine, we've lost the breadbasket of the world. There's going to be a lot of world hunger. There's going to be a lot of people starving to death in countries that are poor and that rely on that. Unfortunately, if we don't save the topsoil, we're in big trouble. So join SaveSoil.org, donate to SaveSoil.org, educate people about the need to save our topsoil. We really have to be on it as a collective energy. I know I keep saying that over and over, but it is that we're going into 2023 and we have to get all our ducks in a row. So, well, the question is, what about world food shortages? I mean, there will be shortages. I don't know if that helps in any way. Does that help anything in any way?
Not if we're all hungry. No, that's not going to help anybody.
No.
You know what we should say? How about a little uplifting note, Annette? How about the email we shared earlier about the folks who had a big drive for Ukraine?
I could read it.
You
Unless you have it in front of you.
I can pull it up.
Okay, I have it. I found it.
Go ahead.
Here, Annette. My sister Beth, who shares your birthday. Oh, I read it so fast I didn't even see that. So she must be a marvelous person. Launched a drive for warm clothing for Ukraine. She was able to send off 106 boxes and worked with Hope for Ukraine to ensure the boxes would get to the people. The boxes were driven by a volunteer east to the overseas shipping point. The picture shows the boxes ready to pack in the truck. Please share this picture with Svetlana and let her know that many of us care and are praying for peace in her homeland. Lots of love, Kathleen Gallagher. That's great because I do want to send warm.
Look at that. Unbelievable. Viewers out there.
That's uplifting.
So I forwarded that to our friend Svetlana this after you sent that to me. And
oh, good.
We're trying to schedule another show, a follow-up show with her. So I keep saying that, but the schedules are tight right now. And she's
so this organization is Hope for Ukraine.
Okay.
That's what it's called. So I'll look into it a little bit further and get back to you on that. And you know what? This is what I want to say about that. That these crises that we are about to face are going to bring us together, just like that picture I just showed you. There are more good people than evil people, fortunately. And that energy of people coming together to help one another, like that just warmed your heart, right?
Oh, yeah.
And isn't that how you want to feel? So it's just going to be what people want to do because it feels good and it feels right. And we're wired for that, unless there's something wrong with our wiring. And so through all these crises, we will have to rely on that love. And that just raises the frequency, the vibration for everybody. It's very healing. So that's an inspiring story.
It is indeed. Good for that. Okay.
Thank you for that, Kathleen.
Yeah. And thank you, Kathleen. And thanks for the question, Colleen. All right. Our next question comes from PC. And PC says, James Bond and science fiction movies feature satellites that control weather. Will that ever happen for real? We've talked about this every now and then.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't think. I know there was a long time ago. I remember I used to listen to the show. Art Bell died, but there was a radio show called The Art Bell Show. Did we talk about that before?
Maybe a little bit, yeah, we have in the past.
And George Norrie was also on it, and he's still around, and he's an interviewer on the Gaia, GAIA, the Gaia channel, which is great. It's an app you can get. Anyway, Art Bell, we used to always have shows about the occult and metaphysics. So, I was all over that. When I was in Nashville, I listened to it all the time. In fact, when I woke up on September 11th that morning, I thought I was still listening to his radio show because it was like, what the hell is going on? Till I kind of came to and realized what was going on. So anyway, Art Bell used to talk. He used to have a lot of shows about chemtrails. And do you remember people talking about chemtrails? And they thought the government was doing something conspiratorial, kind of that was affecting the weather. But in my mind, it was supposed to be to help the weather patterns. I don't see us having the capability to change the weather. I really don't. It's a big planet. I mean, there's so many you'd have to like tweak everything and then where you tweaked here would affect this in a negative way. And I just don't see it happening. I don't see that it's a problem that can really be dealt with because it's so huge. That can be dealt with by just sort of throwing darts at it. I do remember.
Can I just I'm sorry to cut you, but Be Free has said that Art Bell's show was called Dreamland. Believes if that rings
yeah. I never remember the name of it. I think Where I was, it was called the Art Bell Show.
Mm.
But Dreamland, yeah, it's probably referred to as both. I do remember, I don't know if it was Bill Gates, it was somebody who's got billions of dollars, was tossing around the idea of, researching how we could create like something that blocked the sun so it wasn't so intense. But I started reading this book about global climate change. And she was talking about that the sun is actually not getting hotter, it's getting cooler. So I thought that was actually hopeful. I'm just looking for the name of the book. That sounded hopeful to me, because it's not like we're dealing with a sun that's just going to keep getting hotter and hotter. The sun is actually getting cooler. Oh, Bill Gates wrote a book called How to Avoid a Climate Disaster. Did you know that?
I did not know.
I might have to get that. I have two Audible credits available. This book is called Saving Us by Catherine Hayhoe. I just started listening to it. I think I won't get in trouble for holding this up. Copyright claim. Anyway, so that's what she was saying, is the sun is actually not getting hotter. So it seems like, I thought that was hopeful, because it seems like, well, at least we don't have a greater problem with a hotter sun and a hotter planet. At least one is getting cooler. By,
The follow-up on the Art Bell thing, people are saying Coast to Coast was a show.
Coast to Coast, that's the one. That's what I knew it as, Coast to Coast.
So thanks for that, folks. And also,
and then one day he just died.
It happens, right? Happens to the best of us. And then Audrey Dakin has said she saw the Kevin Nealon and Julian Lennon show that I referenced a little while.
Yeah, definitely send me the link to that.
That's a cool one. Yeah, check that out.
Awesome.
All right, ready for the next question?
For our next trick.
Here is one from Froxy Roxy. We see her name in the chat.
All these names sound familiar.
Hi, Roxy. Her
They're
question
friends.
is, Annette, this is a tough one. Annette, why don't all people who die for a few minutes have near-death experiences?
How do you know? When you say this is a tough question, how do you know it's tough?
I don't know why, because it's something I've never thought of.
You could be the gauge.
Yeah.
Why do they not all have near-death experiences?
Yeah, why don't all people who die for a few minutes have near-death experiences?
Well, because it depends on how long you're gone for one. I don't think that everyone's meant to remember them. It really depends on the soul. I mean, like, Anita Morjani wrote a book called, I'm trying to remember the name of the book. It'll come to me. Anyway, she died and left her body, and her body was riddled with cancer, and she came back into her body, and her body completely healed of cancer. Dying to Be Me was the name of the book. So part of her soul mission was to come back and to share her experience with many, 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 many people. And Dr. Wayne Dyer found out about her and heard her story and got her story out to the world, because he was all about, raising people's consciousness. And he was a wonderful, wonderful soul. And so that was part of her mission.
Dying to be me, everyone is saying.
I just said that. Did you not hear me say that?
Sorry, no, because I'm making the chat flying here.
Yeah, they're on it. They're very aware.
Oh yeah, they're locked in, like you.
So if it serves your soul's path, your soul's purpose, then you'll remember it. I mean, everybody has different experiences. What are you eating? Shrimp? Oh, that's way different. I should go get a peep.
They're a little tough.
I can't believe you didn't wrap them up. Didn't you know?
You shouldn't have to eat a peep with a fork and knife, but
and
you leave it out in the air for 10 seconds.
You can't even leave them out for 10 minutes because they'll just get stale.
You can build a hut with that thing. Weather tight.
You could make a brick wall out of peeps.
There's a lot going on right there. All right. Thanks for the question, Roxy. Next question comes from Rick Morrissey. He's our buddy up in Winnipeg. Hello to all our friends up north.
Must be cold up there.
Here's one for you, Annette. Is Chevrolet in financial trouble?
No, why do people keep asking me if these car companies are in trouble? They're about to transition to electric. And we're going to be having a huge movement towards electric vehicles only. That's part of the huge global climate initiatives that's there will start. Did I say that tonight yet? This is the year that we will address global climate change. I said it earlier in our
little show from the studio.
This is our second show today. Boy, are we devoted.
Yeah, we're working OT today. We get time and a half for this show tonight.
I know. Yeah, I don't understand why people are asking me if these car companies are going to collapse.
Okay.
Do you know why they're asking if? Because the last time it was GM.
Right. Well, not long ago, they probably were about to all collapse.
Well, there are many reasons for that.
Yeah.
Corruption. But do you have any idea what? Do you hear the bottles?
I do hear that. What's going on?
I don't know. Maybe they're angry.
We are a pro recycling channel, though, so we can't complain.
This is a segment of our program where we promote recycling.
Yeah, that's funny. What else is going on? Coolant says peeps are best when they're stale. I freeze mine so they're crunchy. Well.
Oh, well, I remember I used to like to freeze Charleston chews.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that, but I guess it's marshmallow. Try that.
I am eating them. I haven't frozen them.
I'm going to do that with my people.
Can you hear this thing?
No.
Hard as a rock.
So you might as well
paperweight.
You might as well put them in the freezer.
Yeah, I know at this point. Well, let's have a little bit of levity now.
Wait, put them in your cocoa.
I know, I just don't have one near me. I'd have to leave and I'd have to get the kettle going. The next question comes from Old Guy. One of your favorites, Annette.
Old Guy, what's up?
Old Guy asks, and this was from last night's live chat. Annette, will my wife make my favorite dinner this week?
Yeah, it's New Year's.
Look at that, Old Guy. You never did tell us what your favorite dinner is. So why don't you let us know in that chat?
She knows. She knows.
Yeah, but we need to know.
She knows, but if she doesn't make it, she's mad at him.
All right, so you work on that, Old Guy. We'll see if you're around.
He needs to be on his best behavior.
Let's see what else we have in here.
Did you tell him that? He needs to be on his best behavior.
He never is. He's been cracking people up all night in here.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
Telling jokes?
Yep. The usual. Here's a question from longtime viewer, Giselle222, who she's always with us. And Giselle says, Annette, measles are beginning to resurface in children thanks to anti-vax parents and social media. Will other diseases begin to resurface as well?
No, because here's the thing. People will get scared. When they see their child with measles, sick, miserable, suffering, they're going to think again. That's a very scary thing for a parent. So they're going to think again. It's kind of like, just for example, when COVID hit and a lot of anti-vaxxers, if they really were taking a strong stand against that, a lot of them, when they saw like a loved one die, then they kind of changed their mind. And for that matter, this is so sad, but people on their deathbeds were asking for the vaccine. So I really see the outbreaks are as a result of not being vaccinated for measles. And what was the other one that's having a resurgence?
Oh yeah, what is it? Not diphtheria. It's like
I don't know.
Coming back.
Yeah, well, it will come back.
Polio, right? Polio was coming back.
The reason there are over 8 billion people on the planet now, or we just hit 8 billion, I'm sure it's beyond that, just like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, they're legacy diseases. They're coming back to tour now.
Well, the reason that we have so many people on the planet is because of vaccinations and modern medicine. Because let's face it, if this was 100 years ago, we'd all be dead. I mean, if we lived during that time, which we probably did, we'd be dead by now. Think of it. I don't know if you've ever had swollen tonsils or something. I mean, anything could some kind of infection would have killed you by now.
Tetanus.
Who? Tetanus.
Tetanus.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking the other day about one time, long time ago, when I got a rusty nail in my hand and how I had to run to get a tetanus shot and how scary that was.
Yeah.
People think about how many rusty nails there were back in like 200 years ago.
Rabies, rabbit
Gangrene,
bite,
just like
attacked by a fox.
There was
Gangrene.
penicillin. There was
Consumption.
So, all that. And so when people see, oh my gosh, my child is so sick, I just see people turning around. So it doesn't become a huge problem. They'll become believers. It's kind of common sense.
And I'm going to grab a question from the live chat from Jessica Love. Annette, do you see relations with China improving?
No.
Ooh.
No, but I just see it kind of stalemate. Like until President Xi is out of power, which might be a good question to ask. The young people in China are they're kind of fearless, so they may overthrow him. But I just feel like you can't work with him. And Biden, to his credit, he went over to China. I think he was in China. I'm not sure. Anyway, he had like a 3-hour meeting with President Xi. And what transpired in that meeting, I think, got him to tone it down. But, these dictator types are they're narcissists and they're not going to budge. Just for the sake of letting people know I'm in control. So he's like, I'm in control of China. Nobody's going to tell me what to do. It's really sick. I think that President Xi is hiding a lot of the truth about what's really going on in China right now. I mean, just massive amounts of information about what's really going on. He's hiding. This channel is for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, I wonder if TikTok ends up getting banned. Like they're going to follow through with, at least with what, government issue devices.
I know. Well, somebody mentioned to me, like just the fact that just to get the word out more about what I do and everything, that an option is TikTok, and I just immediately shot it down. Not doing TikTok.
Yeah.
And I really go by vibes like that. Like I find so often in my life, like everyone jumps on the bandwagon for something, and I just go, I have no real reason, but I'm not doing that. And then later I see why. Like TikTok doesn't feel right. And if you're on TikTok, so it's fine. Now just know that it's pretty common knowledge now that China's stealing all your information.
And you don't normally dance on camera either.
Not usually, but I can.
Oh, all right. Then stay tuned, folks.
But I wouldn't put it on TikTok.
Right.
Maybe my YouTube channel.
There you go. There's a short in there somewhere.
There's a documentary about, I'm just thinking of videos of people dancing. There's a documentary about Nancy Pelosi. I think like her daughter made a documentary about her life, and I think it's on Netflix. I forget what the title.
I think everyone has a documentary on Netflix at this point.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, there's a video of her dancing with her grandchildren. It's very endearing. It's very sweet.
Yeah, Liza Field is saying Facebook is worse than TikTok, but you'd actually be surprised at how egregious TikTok's terms and conditions are. They're literally telling you they're taking and recording everything. You don't own any of it. I mean, I know a lot of other platforms, they tell you that point blank.
Yeah, but nobody reads it. They just go, I agree.
They don't care. Whenever you get like a younger social media platform, you can get a lot of views or followers very quickly. without having to pay for it. And then eventually you have to pay to reach your own followers. Like that's how these platforms work. And TikTok just hasn't been there yet.
Oh,
But yeah,
oh,
that's how
yeah.
that stuff works. So
Not doing
anyway,
TikTok.
oh, I got 1 million views for something. Well, I'm going to stick around for this. You don't know if they're real or not, because TikTok, like the other platforms, can just say, "Oh, you got 100,000 views." Eventually, now you're going to spend more time here because this platform is working for you, and then eventually you're going to get hooked on us, and now you're going to have to pay to reach those people.
Well, you get people. You have something that people get addicted to, and you are golden for the rest of your life. It just better be something that's good for people.
And the great barometer is if a 13-year-old girl is doing it and loves it, that's going to become the norm. That's going to become where everyone gravitates to. So
everyone
follow the teenage girls. Yeah. That's where pop culture is driven that way. Not everyone, but I mean, that's where
everyone.
not everyone, but that's where a lot of it, that's where the next cool thing goes. Teenage girls are into it. You're going to go there.
Not if you're not a teenage girl.
Oh, are you kidding me?
You're looking at, we're not going there.
And here's my weird TikTok story, right? For the cable station that I work for, I did a documentary on the blizzard of '78, which is a huge blizzard here in the
I saw it. It was great.
And in the North Midwest as well. So they played a clip on TikTok, the cable station did, and it went crazy, right? It goes viral. And then everyone who commented on it were reminiscing about what they were doing during the blizzard of '78, which means they're older than 50. Because they all were bringing up, and I'm talking the entire thread where people talk about, it was hundreds of thousands.
Yeah. Wow.
So I'm telling you, that is the demographic. It's weird. Like if your kids are on it, you're great on it.
Like everything that you're saying right now, you got all those views and all, and it's like, and if it was like $1 million or not, I would not take it. I would just not be on TikTok.
Yeah, it's hard to quantify success on social media or know what's real. What I like about the YouTube channel is we see there are 550 or so people here, but we can pretty much see most of all of their names.
Right, it's not a secret.
It's 550. Yeah, I mean, so
yeah, we get a few bots.
Yeah, and the other thing that I like about YouTube as well, not to get real deep into it, is YouTube started as a channel where you upload video, and that's about it. And it's basically, that's all it's been for its whole life. It hasn't tried to become this and this and that. Or now you can do pictures. Now you can do this. Now you can do that. Now they're getting into the short form stuff with vertical video, but it's always just been a video uploading site. That's why it keeps rising. It's a pretty astonishing accomplishment for a social media platform this old to still keep gaining.
Yeah, you started on YouTube, right?
No, I've always had YouTube channels. Yeah, I guess so. Way back in the day, like
because I'm thinking I used to upload. Remember, I did the runner's report.
Yes.
The weather was that YouTube or that was from your website?
That was on my old website. Yeah. Bridge Cape Ann originally was called overthebridge.com, and we were the first website in the world, social media website built for a community. And so like NBC News was our first Twitter follower. Susan Sarandon was one of our first Instagram followers. Like we got invested in early on. Like it was a big deal before we launched. The problem is we weren't coders or programmers and didn't have all the bells and whistles that Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter had. And we would go on in our first year and just say, listen, don't go on these don't spend all your time and money on these massive platforms because your content's going to get lost in a flash. And I'm talking to people trying to market hyper locally, right? Why you can't compete with 1 billion uploads a day on YouTube.
That was like 11 years ago.
Yeah. So we use this instead. Now, of course, that's not, what happened is any good feature that any good upstart like we had got completely ripped off by big tech because they could just take it and make it 100 times better and more attainable. And that's how they work. They swallow up. Look, what is Instagram? Instagram got bought for $1 billion bucks, and it was kicking Facebook's ass. So you buy it.
It makes us work harder.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, enough of that. There's my rant. We did have a question from Denise.
It was a rant. That was a pretty long rant.
I'm good, man. I know my social. All right, so back to the China question. Denise Claudette had asked, will China invade? She's saying invade North Korea.
I would think that the question would be, will they invade Taiwan?
Right. So let's change it to that. Because we know they've moved some war machines in the vicinity.
I don't know why I feel like I'm so far away from you.
Oh, Annette, you just missed me.
Come closer. All right. It's not, will China invade North Korea? I mean, China and North Korea are kind of like President Xi and
Let's
Kim
make it
Jong-un are
Taiwan.
kind of on the same page.
We'll make it Taiwan.
You think that's what they meant?
Yeah.
Well, full disclosure, this is not my area of great strength, because you might remember before Putin actually attacked Ukraine and they had all those tanks on the border. Remember that? People kept asking, is Putin going to do it? And I was like, no way. NATO is too strong. He won't have the, kahunas. Right? And then after it happened, I was talking to my assistant about this today. I dropped off of my YouTube channel for 3 months.
I remember.
And I lost a lot of subscribers. I couldn't deal. I could not read about it. I could not. So full disclosure, they might. China might invade Taiwan. I thought that Putin would see what he was up against, because I just really saw that NATO would be a force to be reckoned with. So interesting about that NATO came back together, and with Joe Biden in office, it changed, because Trump wanted to pull us out of NATO. He was really adamant about it. So we'll just ask, will China invade Taiwan? Will China invade Taiwan? It doesn't look like they will. And I think that China has so much to lose, but I thought the same thing about Putin. But I think China has more to lose. Look at how many things we buy that are made in China, just about everything.
Well, and you think they'd have to have an eye kept on the fallout from Russia invading Ukraine.
Yeah, I just feel
this
like
is going to be the worldwide fallout, then they don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, and they're already on real shaky ground, and the people are revolting. It's bad, and they have COVID to deal with, and it's I just don't see. There's like no returns on that. You know what I mean? If China invades Taiwan, it's like, for what? For what there's no benefit. Except, we have Taiwan now. Really? I don't think he thinks like Putin, put it that way. I think he thinks things through more. Putin's more like reactive.
Oh, yeah. Chinese
All
like
right.
Long term. Good question. Okay. How about this one from the live chat now, LL Holiday Decor. Now, Annette, we've had questions about this particular subject in the past, and I've always appreciated your answers. So I'll ask again. Kory, could you please ask Annette what she sees about autism cures and treatments? I've asked this before, but hoping to hear good news. But you have always had an interesting take.
I always have had good news
on autism. Yeah.
So is the question, is there going to be any more
cures or treatments?
Always in the works. More than cures, I feel like new approaches that work better. Like, I'm not seeing a drug that's a cure for autism, for instance. But I see a place for people who have autism, in the sense that their strengths are enhanced. There's different degrees and different levels of autism. It's the way of working with people that are autistic is going to improve immensely. Lots of advancements and developments and treatment that works and approaches that work. I'm not seeing anything on the drug front, which is a good thing. It's like, we all have weaknesses in certain areas, and if we just sort of navigate through them in an effective ways, we can do very well in life. You know, there are many people that are dyslexic that have done amazing. I think Walt Disney might have been dyslexic. People in the chat will tell you. I know Anderson Cooper is dyslexic. I think Steven Spielberg is. I mean, it's not autism, but I'm just saying.
Right, but Asperger's, there are certain things where,
I've met people that have a touch of Asperger's that are just brilliant geniuses. So I just see
gifted beyond belief.
Yeah, so I see autism being it's like being approached in a different way that's way better. Lots of that is what I see.
Good. All right, here's a little fun question for you, Annette. Do politicians watch YouTube psychics? You've got a little story for us, right?
Yes. Where did this story begin? I'm trying to remember because today I heard, I don't know really where I even picked it up, that Mary Trump mentioned Lena Rodriguez, who is a psychic from Australia who reads all the time about America. And she's been on way longer than I've been on. And apparently Mary Trump mentioned Lena Rodriguez's video. As Lena's similar to me in the sense that we're very much activists, and we're pretty kind of feisty like that. Like, get you people need to get to work. She's a little more than I am.
It's the Wild West over here.
It can be. Yeah. But she gets really intense sometimes, and I'm just like, oh, too much. Like for example, when Lena's a wonderful psychic. I'm not bashing her. I'm just saying the difference is when the Queen died, I was really all about. She was like, what a wonderful woman she was. And Lena went into this about the monarchy, and it's like, well, can we just take a moment and just appreciate the woman for that she was a good person? So anyway.
Yeah, so people are saying that Mary Trump put a video of Lena on her own show, right? You mentioned this, right? She was mentioned on her.
Well, does she not get slammed for copyright?
You showed a clip of Lena. Well, no, because you can set your video up to be shared by anybody if you want. You can allow people to take clips or whatever if you want to.
There's no copyright.
We do that. We do that. You can take our clips, folks, and put them out of context if you like. Share them anywhere you want.
But give us credit.
Yeah.
Don't call us by different names and stuff.
Doctor it up, make us look stupid, share us anywhere you like.
So anyway, so I heard that, and then somebody said that in the comments, somebody mentioned my name. So maybe Mary Trump will call me. The funny thing is that people have said that I remind them of Mary Trump when I have my black rimmed glasses on, because I have the same hair, and so the question, I have been saying this for a while now. It's only a matter of time, because the hints are there that, on the mainstream news channels, how many times have I heard, well, if I could read the tea leaves, or well, if we could look into our crystal ball, or well, they're always like hinting at it. And we had somebody, I don't know if he still watches, but we had somebody reach out a while back that worked for one of the news networks and said he watches us. And yeah, I don't know if he still does. Like, I don't save names or anything.
Yeah.
I do think that it's a matter of time before they start coming to us to find out what the hell's going on. Honestly, because we live in times that you can't go by what you hear on the news. You can't go by what you hear on social media. You cannot trust the sources. Some are more accurate than others. I think I forget sometimes. I check in to ask myself if something is true. It's an automatic kind of response. Not everybody does that. So I think that, and I believe that I did that in a past lifetime, maybe many, where I was like the oracle, like in Atlantis, and as a priestess, where they came to find out what we saw. And even like in the Bible stories and the kings and the kingdoms, they all have like an oracle or a prophet. So we're kind of hardwired for that. So I just feel like these, news people and people with channels like Mary Trump are just like, we want to ask, we want to ask, we want to ask. But what do people think? That's going to go away. That, it being taboo, that's going to go away.
Annette, ring the bell.
Money?
Oh, for the first time in the history of the Psychic and the Psychic, we have passed 600 live viewers.
Oh, wow. Okay, let's hit it.
Yeah. It's our biggest crowd ever. So anyway, folks.
Is it?
Yeah. In one sitting. What
did you write in the description? Sometimes that makes a difference.
You don't want to know. It was NC-17.
If you don't watch this, you'll be sorry. Bad things will happen.
But anyway, folks, welcome to tuning in. You are watching The Psychic and the Sidekick. She is the psychic, Annette Dion. She has her own channel, of course, and a website, psychicannetteDion.com. I am Kory from Bridge Cape Band. I am the sidekick. I'm the host for this channel. We're both coming to you from Gloucester, Massachusetts. Annette and I are longtime friends. Annette is technically a client of mine, but we don't really look at it that way. But we work together to promote the area and promote Annette's business. So anyway, we do this show live every Wednesday evening around 6:30, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And this is our year-end spectacular, our New Year's predictions for 2020.
I like that name. I like that. I like year-end spectacular.
Yeah, isn't that great?
No wonder you have more than 600 people there. Because you keep saying year-end spectacular.
I want to watch it. Yeah, that's what the title should be.
I want to watch it too, for sure.
So I go on usually Tuesday evenings and gather questions for Annette's Wednesday shows. But of course, we'll also be taking your questions in real time as well from the live chat. But thanks to everyone for being here. You'll notice our moderators, Anna Lee Finch and Christian Montone. They're awesome with the wrenches. If you have any questions about us or how this works, feel free to ask in the chat. We have so many people in there, part of this beautiful community, helping to, get through the day with one another and promote all the good things that we hope to iron out through our channel and our time.
All right, hang on, while you're on the topic, because my assistant is so wonderful. She noticed that I needed my list of things to remember to talk about.
Oh my God, here we go. Roll it out. Oh,
the savings on my January classes ends in a few days on January 6th.
Okay.
Save $25 by signing up now on my website. For my January Saturday series of classes, you can take one, you can take all four. If you take all four, you get a $25 discount. They're all related to using the law of attraction in your life to create the life that you want. You can eat your peeps while I talk. My group, Grassroots of Democracy, which is going on 1 year now, we've met twice a week, every week. To join, go to psychicannetteDion.com for all of this and sign up on the Grassroots of Democracy page. We credit ourselves with saving our democracy in the midterms. There's a lot more work to do, so sign up for that. Every Friday, I do a PNN, Psychic News Network, live. My handle on YouTube is @psychicannetteDion. On Mondays, I usually do a pre-recorded video. And New Year's Eve, I'm going to do what I did last year, was from on New Year's Eve from 4 to 7. I did a special thing where I read from books that have been my strongest spiritual influences in my life and take little meditation breaks, read another excerpt from 4 to 7.
Beautiful.
This coming Saturday, which is New Year's Eve.
That's right.
And if you'd like to book a reading, I have room. You don't have to wait for months and months and years to I don't have a waiting list. My guides don't want me to be that busy.
I like it. You can ring the bell again, Annette.
Okay. Thank you for letting me take that commercial break.
Because Elaine S. has bought us both a glass of champagne tonight.
Wow, yeah, there's a lot of glasses of champagne there.
Oh yeah, we're gonna let it fly for 2023. So
well, you have to come to the castle.
Thanks, Elaine. I'm gonna be in 10 different places.
You can pay for your own ticket now.
Are you gonna drive that night? I might need a driver.
Yeah.
Good.
If you go to the castle.
If I go to the castle, here's how we're gonna go.
I'll give you a ride.
You give me a ride on your bicycle, and I'll sit in the basket, and we'll do it like E.T.
Be too cold for that.
Well, we'll give it a shot. That's what the champagne's for.
You'd make a good ET.
Would be pretty. Those handlebars would not be enjoying themselves.
But I would be a good designated driver.
You would be very good.
Yeah.
I think.
Very responsible.
Yeah, you are. All right. Here's a question for you, Annette. Good luck with this one. It's a good one.
All right.
From the live chat. This is from Terry Hall. All right, ready? Lock in with
I
your
was
gun.
just talking about her.
In 1926, cue the music, folks. In 1926, Agatha Christie disappeared for 10 days. She claimed to have lost her memory. Is that true, or did she just want a timeout from life? And if true, what made her lose her memory?
She wanted a timeout.
Really?
Yeah. What was the second?
And if it was true, what made her lose her memory? But you're saying
I think Agatha Christie. I don't know a lot about Agatha Christie. I feel like Agatha Christie wanted privacy. And then when people ask, where is Agatha female? It must be.
Agatha Christie, yeah.
Agatha
Christie at the time was the top-selling, the best-selling author of all time, other than I think the Bible. She'd written the most books. Now that's been passed, I think, by J.K. Rowling and maybe someone else now, but she was.
I get this sense that it's like when I tuned in, when I did my channeling with Jackie Onassis Kennedy.
Yeah.
I get the same kind of thing because Jackie was, coming through and saying, she just kept showing me these flashing bulbs, and she just hated that, right? I get the same kind of thing about Agatha Christie. What year was it?
1926.
So they had flashing bulbs then. I get the same kind of feeling.
Hmm.
Or like, Princess Diana, for instance, that's just the flashing bulbs and they just can't handle it. So I feel like Agatha didn't want to explain herself and just felt entitled to just disappear for a while. I mean, to me, it's showing up as like the fantasy was, what if I could just get away completely? And I'm getting the word cave. So it's almost like went to a cave. That might be just a metaphor.
Elaine S. is telling us that her husband was having an affair. So maybe.
Well, that makes sense why she'd want to get away.
Mm-hmm. Christinia Ibarra is asking, Annette, how does one schedule a reading with you?
PsychicAnnetteDion.com.
There you go.
It's on that first page. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
This is a good time to get a reading. You want to know what's coming up in the new year, right?
There's some stuff going on for sure. The fur is flying. All right. And she says thank you. Our next question, Annalie dropped in your address. That's why.
Oh, thanks.
Glenn Bird. We love Glenn, right?
Glenn's
always.
a little bell.
And Glenn asked Annette, will 2023 be the year that this or the next Pope will change antiquated Roman Basilica law and allow priests and nuns to get married?
This year?
Will 2023?
I don't think that will ever happen. I think the Catholic Church will crumble before that happens.
Whoa. Well, you know what? Now that reminds me of one of the predictions from last year, right? You called the end of that.
What did I say?
That the Catholic Church would eventually cease to exist.
Was it? Yeah, but I didn't mean in 2022.
No, you didn't.
The one that you just played or another one? Which one? Which video?
Oh, I don't know. We're talking about a video. We just had a question about the Catholic Church, and you said, and this could have been a year or two ago.
Oh, okay. It wasn't predictions for the year.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it's not. The Catholic Church is closing down. The Catholic, the Vatican. It's just all. I mean, the cathedrals will still be open for the tourists, and it's not. That's not going to go away. But the Catholic religion, it's had its day in the sun. I like some of the rituals of the Catholic religion, but people don't go to. If you go to the Catholic Church, I mean, I was fired from the Catholic Church for being a witch. So
I remember.
I would go, but they won't let me in. It's not like I was doing witchcraft or anything. I never was quiet about it. And it was just like, isn't that the pot calling the kettle black? Okay, I'll shut up now.
That's fine. We're all good. It's the top of the hour now. It is now 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here. Annette and I are coming to you from Gloucester, Massachusetts. That's the northeast corner. If you ever saw the movie Coda, Oscar-winning Coda, that took place here. If you've ever had fish sticks from Gordon's of Gloucester, that's right here. The Perfect Storm, Wicked Tuna, that's our backyard. We're America's oldest seaport, folks, celebrating our 400th year in 2023, as a matter of fact.
The proposal was, a lot of that was filmed in Rockport. There's an old movie The Cher was in that was filmed in Rockport.
Yeah.
What was it? Was that Mermaids?
Yeah, Mermaids, right? Yeah.
There's been a lot of movies come out of here. And it's funny because when I drive home through Rockport, it's like, this place is so charming. It's so different. It's so unique.
Did you see the sunset tonight?
No, I've been here.
Oh my God, it was gorgeous.
Yeah, it's been pretty. It really has been pretty. Is it going to be nice out the next few days? Is it going to be clear?
It's supposed to be rainy through the weekend, but warm for us.
Oh, really? Because the night sky, when it's really, really, really cold and the sky was really clear, the stars are just amazing. And I have that Stargazer app. It's fun.
Yeah. I think we're supposed to be getting rain New Year's Eve into New Year's Day. So you'll be at the castle, you'll be hearing the pitter patter of rain out there.
That's okay. And it's better than it being snowy.
Atmosphere. It adds to the atmosphere.
Yeah, and plus I was thinking about, wow, they're really taking the risk having a big gala, because you don't know what's going to happen with the weather, right? What if a snowstorm came in and they had all the caterer and, that would be rough.
You had catering.
And then there's those granite steps. There's no way to get there except to go down these really weird, awkward granite steps.
And it's dark. It's tough around
there. And
there.
It's dark, yeah.
You can hear the ocean crashing. It's a mind screw.
And I taught my tarot class there, and it was dark sometimes, and it's like, whoa, this is really kind of dangerous. So it's good that the weather's just going to be rain and not icy snow. Like the other night, it was a Friday night. I was doing a video during that storm. I did a PNN live, and I was like, you guys, I got to go because it's going to drop. The temperature's going to drop from like 50 to 20.
It did.
It did. But then I went outside and the roads were dry. It was the weirdest thing. And they were fine.
It was so windy.
Is that what it was? It was the strangest thing. I was like, can anybody explain this to me? Because it was pouring buckets.
I mean, it was pouring, and it was an astronomically high tide, so we had flooding going on. And
it was bad.
Hours later, everything was dry and it froze.
It was bad. That's what it was. Thank you for clearing that up for me, because I was like, it must have been like a massive blow dryer.
It was, right?
I couldn't feel like, what a phenomenon. I've been hearing the rain pounding all day, and the streets were dry. Yeah. So I was safe. I went for a drive and looked at the Christmas lights.
Oh yeah, there's some beautiful streets out there. Neighbors doing great.
Yeah. I like to do that. I might even do that tonight.
Yeah, do it.
Take the long way home. There's some really nice lights. What's your favorite street?
Well, the Reynard Street's always really nice.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
No one knows what we're talking about, but
I know, but I bet they have their favorite streets too.
Yeah. Neighborhoods where they really light up, or streets they all sort of band together and really do a great job. Yeah, we have a bunch of those around here. It's cool.
I mean, that's a universal theme.
Yeah.
We love Christmas lights.
I wish lights were up year round. Personally, I like them.
I think they should be up all winter. I call them winter lights.
Yeah, that's nice.
And here where we live, it's like there's so many old colonial homes, and when people do it really right, and they put a candle in the window, and there's these nice candles that flicker that look like real flames, and with the curtains, and the little houses with the panels that have squares, and it's very pretty.
I can ask you, Annette, that Moonchild is asking, will Annette run into Neil Young at the castle on New Year's Eve?
The word's getting out.
Yeah, Neil Young is Annette's spirit animal.
Well, he's still on the earthly plane.
Yeah.
Maybe I will meet him someday. My friend Sean also had an almost met him story.
Oh, yeah.
This guy, I know Sean from living in Nashville, and he still lives there. He had I almost met John Denver story. He almost met John Denver and had dinner with John Denver, and I almost met Neil and had dinner with Neil. I guess people have stories like that.
Who's the most famous person have you ever had dinner with a famous person before?
No.
So this is that weird. This has actually happened to me like so 3 times. I've had dinner with Whoopi Goldberg when Whoopi was working here in Gloucester.
Oh, I met her when she was working here. Yeah.
I had dinner once in LA with Uncle Leo from Seinfeld.
Vaguely remember Uncle
All right,
Leo.
so folks out there might remember Uncle Leo. He was my best friend out there has well, whatever. It's an acquaintance of an acquaintance. It was like 3 degrees. But anyway, we had dinner with Uncle Leo one night, which was fun. I gotta think, I had lunch with Owen Wilson once in LA.
Fun, just you and him?
No, there was like 6 of us at a table.
I bet he's a fun guy.
It was cool. He was quiet, but he was cool.
I mean, I've been, what is that? Something degrees of almost famous, like almost having dinner with a famous person. I may have forgotten, but I haven't ever had dinner with somebody super famous.
Yeah.
Just people that worked with famous people, because I lived in Nashville, but not with a famous person. And by the way, on the invitation, it says Neil Young. Neil Young is rumored to be on the guest list. And then I noticed recently it's not there anymore.
Well, just be glad that his spelling's correct. Imagine if the spelling was like Kneel Young. Then
I would know it was fake. But did you notice that it's not there anymore? That's off the invitation?
Oh, you didn't make it? Oh, yeah.
A bait and switch there.
Now listen, Annette, what you do is you show up as Neil Young tomorrow.
That'd be tough.
Yeah, I'm trying.
It's Saturday night was the party.
Yeah. Let's move on. So listen, Elaine S tipped the chin a little while ago. She also had a question in last night's live chat. And she says, hi, Merry Christmas. Does Annette see any improvement in the fentanyl crisis?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that is, if you get me started about the pharmaceutical industry, I will just get too angry. They literally don't care that they're killing people. I mean, and I know the fentanyl and all that, that's another topic, but it's all connected. I do see enough public awareness happening that, read me the entire question again.
Does Annette see any improvement in the fentanyl crisis?
Yeah, I do. I haven't really understood, and I need to educate myself more about how it shows up in things. But I connect it to the opioid crisis. There will be improvement. Yeah, so I don't know enough about how it gets here.
We'll take it.
How it gets in things. Do you? I mean, this is something I'm not educated in. But
it's just so weird in that because we live in an area where we've always sort of had a drug issue here.
Yeah, what do you know about fentanyl though? Because people talk about it all the time, but what do you actually know about it? What's the fact like how does it get into things? How does it get into cocaine? And how is it connected to the opiates? And like, do you know?
Well, what I did hear from someone who worked at a jail nearby, and people were actually soaking paper with fentanyl, and that's how they were sneaking it into prison.
So it gets you high.
Oh yeah, it can kill you in one shot
if you take a certain dose.
Yeah,
like heroin.
Yeah, and it's worse. So you can have anything like laced with fentanyl, and it's
so it's the opiates are laced with fentanyl, but I just wonder who's doing that.
So how it gets in. And that's how they can sneak it by. They can pretty much hide it a bunch of different ways.
I mean, I can do a reading on it, but I do feel like it's public awareness. It's going to be public awareness that makes the crisis less.
Yeah.
And we can't be listening to people that are going, it's the immigrants and bringing fentanyl. I won't mention any names.
So what's funny in that is, so the live chat's going wild as it has been all night. So we're still talking about people who have met famous people or had dinner with famous people. And in it all, Yoon says, I am, capital letters, famous. So maybe someday.
Yes, she is.
Maybe someday we'll have dinner with Yoon.
We made her famous.
Yeah.
Or maybe she's a celebrity in Singapore.
Yeah, I know. She should be.
Is she a movie star?
Yeah, Yoon, are you famous in Singapore or or just YouTube?
Because we treat her like she's totally famous.
Oh yeah, she's royal. She is bridge royalty.
Yeah, totally.
Let's see. Where do we want to go next? How about this one, Annette? Well, we get the Dominion questions all the time. Do you want to touch on that at all?
Dominion is going to soak Fox.
Hmm.
Like when I think about it, I see a big tidal wave coming right for Fox. They're gonna be, like, did you ever go to the beach and when the surf is really high in the summer, you go to the beach and a huge wave, like you turn your back and a huge wave comes and just knocks you over.
Oh yeah.
That's what I see for Dominion and Fox. Dominion's gonna crash them. I see Fox struggling. I see, when Trump's tax returns come out, they're going to be like, blah, 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 blah. They won't know how to lie about it. So they'll have to change what they do and how they do it. And I see several anchors, if you can call them that, because it's not news, it's propaganda. I see a lot of anchors just kind of exiting, retiring, resigning. Why are you smirking?
Because Annette, Yoon has followed up and said, "I'm just an ordinary person. I said it just for fun." So, we understand.
You're a celebrity to us.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very tight-knit family here.
Yeah, like a family. You can be a celebrity in your own mind. Like, you're a celebrity in your own mind, right?
In my own mind?
Yeah, don't you think
that's
you're
a weird place to be?
No?
A celebrity in my own
You're on
mind?
camera all the time. You're a celebrity.
We call it Market Basket famous. That's just a local grocery store here.
I will never be that.
I don't know. Well, yeah, maybe not here, but elsewhere.
No, I just don't go. Market. One time I was watching Morning Joe, and they were making fun of the Boston accent. It was a few weeks ago, and they were like, up in Boston, they have Market Basket.
Yeah,
They kept saying Market Basket. It was so funny. We want to get people in the chat talking, ask them what they're gonna eat for what's their favorite New Year's Eve dinner. Then you'll totally lose them because they'll all be chatting it up.
Yeah,
what are you having? What are you having?
New Year's, I have no idea. I have no idea.
Yeah, but if you go to the party, it said heavy hors d'oeuvres right after it said Neil Young is going to be there.
It better be heavy hors d'oeuvres. Right. So now we know Neil's not going to be there. Will there even be hors d'oeuvres? It might just be you and Hammond.
I don't know what heavy hors d'oeuvres means.
Mm.
That's what
heavy hors d'oeuvres? It might require a fork and knife.
Wild boar.
It could be that friggin' peep I ate 10 minutes ago. That was about 3 pounds.
I've never heard that term, heavy hors d'oeuvres.
Mm. Yeah. Or maybe that's just a wide selection. So, just get the scallop wrapped in bacon. And maybe there's like 10 different things going on. Maybe.
Yeah, but have you ever heard it described, like hors d'oeuvres described as being heavy?
I don't know if that just means the volume or the choices. I don't know.
I think it means don't eat before you come to the party.
Yeah.
We're way off track.
So it's not a sit down dinner, right? So anyway.
No, there are tables and people will be sitting down.
Oh yeah, really?
There's still tickets if anybody wants to come here and go to the party.
Joan of Arc comes in from out of town.
Someday that's gonna happen.
If you want to hang out with Annette Saturday, come on into town. She's got a ticket for you.
I wanted to do meet and greet at the castle on the lawn in the summer. We'll have to set that up.
Oh, yeah.
And this year coming is the 400th year anniversary of the settling of this place. I dread it. It's going to be insanity. Okay, give me a question because we're totally off track.
Heavy does mean don't eat before you come. They're heavy duty stuff.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Thank you. I guessed right.
PK Stiver. I hope that's right. I don't know.
Because you know what? When you have a party and people, this one of my pet peeves. Because when I've ever had parties, I cook for an army.
Yeah.
And then when people show up, just if you're being a hostess or if you're going to a party, don't show up at a party and have the hostess or the host offer you food that they've been slaving away for like months and freezing. Don't come to the party and be like, oh, I'm not hungry, I already ate. That's the worst.
I know, but that happens. A lot of people, first of all, a lot of women don't want to be seen eating.
There's no excuse.
Heavily. There's that. Then you have people who don't want food to absorb their alcohol. So there's that.
What are you, in high school?
Listen, lady, it's a party, right? I'm going to sit down and have pot roast for 2 hours on New Year's Eve. What do you want me to do?
You don't eat before you go to a party that you've been invited to that you know there's going to be food. Oh, I'm not hungry. I just ate.
You just have to call it dinner and not a party. You come over for dinner and then have it turn into a party.
People know me. They know I'm going to cook up a storm. Just like your mother.
When was the last time you hosted a party, Dion?
Like your mother. Probably
pre-COVID.
I had a colonial Christmas party when I lived in the little colonial house.
What? Like you were in period dress?
Yes, I was.
Of course you were. Yeah.
And I cooked all period food. I cooked I had like
how bland was that? Like rabbit and stuff?
Stew. It was
rabbit and parsnips?
You can get all this stuff if you order it. You can order game meats online frozen. They come to you frozen. I had the spread like you would never believe. And a couple of people came and said they already ate.
You're a good cook too.
I have great parties.
I think I went to one of your parties. I think I went for Fiesta one year.
Yeah, that was a great party. I mean,
did you make stuffed shells or ravioli or something? You did
probably manicotti.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it was. Yeah.
Kory, this is a psychic show, and we're not answering any questions.
I don't know what the hell we're doing. Here's a question for you. All right, let's turn this thing weird for a second. We get this question. This happens every year between Christmas and New Year's Eve. Celebrities pass away. So Jennifer Kolig is saying, gossip columns are showing that the end is near for Barbara Walters. Can Annette read it on if that's true or not?
Yes, it's true. She in her 90s?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, I'm getting the month of March.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, she's just at the end. I mean, it's like, we got to do better at, acknowledging. We get to the end eventually. She's had a good life. She's had a very interesting, very interesting life.
The creator of the Vaseline camera lens. You know how it looks dreamy.
I didn't know. I never heard that until Kari Lake.
Well, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Kari Lake, the election denier who's trying to steal the governorship from the woman who won, Carrie Hobbs. Everybody knows Katie Hobbs. I mean, everybody in the chat knows. Everyone would say, "Oh, she," because she's like all pretty and all like, that doesn't go very far. But she's being a heinous, horrible person. Like hiring lawyers to fight and say the election was stolen from her and no evidence. Just insanity. It's all over the news. But everybody was saying that she's putting Vaseline on her lens, and I was like, I didn't understand that. Yeah,
it's a trick that that old news magazine shows used to do. They would make it almost dreamy, like it was almost a little cloudy or hazy. And it was for if you were doing something very sentimental. Where Barbara Walters' thing was she would make anybody cry. Because it would be a deep interview, and then she would hit a nerve and talk about,
And then the Vaseline would go on the lens then?
It adds like that dreamy, hazy,
So before she made the person cry?
Yeah, the whole interview was done like that. So you knew it was a Barbara Walters interview. You'd be in this little dream. You see, like you have filters now that are kind of like that.
I don't know how I missed this.
Yeah.
I'm living in
notice if you'll go back, you'll see clips after she passes, and you'll be like, oh, no kidding, look at that. It'll be
I like Barbara Walters. Remember when she was Baba Wawa and
Baba Wawa, that was Gilda Radner.
That was so funny. She was not always very nice because if you watch the interview with Dolly Parton, really not nice.
I know. You can't mess with Dolly.
Did you see that? If you can Google it
I remember that crap. I'll watch it
on
again.
YouTube. It was just, she wasn't nice.
Yeah. We're ready for another question?
Why, certainly, we're still here.
We're having so much fun tonight. Let's see. Rhonda Brown wants to know, we get this question all the time too. It's finally time for an ET question. Annette, will the government finally open up to the public about aliens' true existence with proof and not just talk?
In the show, I didn't watch the whole thing, the show you just showed. Did we have that question last year?
I think we definitely had questions like that before.
Because I'm trying to remember, because I think it was early 2022 that I said it was the year that we'd find out the aliens are real. Remember that? And then NASA started, coming out with the goods.
I do remember this. Yes.
And they had a hearing. I remember Adam Schiff was there. I mean, there were our representatives at this hearing listening to the presentation of here we have they didn't say, they're spaceships from outer space, but they were saying we don't know what these are. They were presenting all the video, all the footage, all the evidence, and presenting like we don't know what these things are. And this has been going on for so long, and people at NASA know that these things that are appearing in the sky act in ways that there's an intelligence, there's a consciousness there. Like, it's not just random. They know what they're doing. There's an order to what they're doing up there. So I'm sorry, the question was, did that answer the question?
I don't know. I gotta find it. Oh, will the government finally open up? Will the government actually?
Well, I think the government has.
Mm-hmm.
And we're definitely not ready for that. Somebody asked me a question about a week ago. Pretty sure it was on the show, about will the JFK documents be released? Do you remember you asked me that question? And I do remember who asked it. And I said, God, that would lead to total chaos. And because the question was, will the Biden administration release those documents and that material about JFK's assassination, and what was going on there? Was there this department involved and that department involved? And I said the Biden administration would not touch that right now because we're already in enough tumult. And then a few days later, I heard pretty much exactly what I'd said about it. I think the press secretary answered a question about that. Like, we have other things to think about and to focus on right now. So they're not going to let out all the information about what they know about ETs, because why create tumult when we have plenty? One tumult at a time, not all at once.
A lot of tumult. I don't think I like the word tumult. I like tumultuous. I don't like tumult.
Well, sorry. I can use a different word.
Please don't use it again.
Sorry, Kory. Is it a trigger?
I just don't like the word.
Are you feeling that?
Is it tumult or tumult? Tumult.
Well, just ask your people in the chat. I'm sure they'll come up with something for you.
Is it tumult or tumult?
It sounds like a type of candy.
Tumult does? What kind of candy would that be?
Sounds like the malts, like the malted milk balls or something.
Yeah. How about this question, Annette, from Eileen? Will Ginny or Clarence Thomas ever pay for what she or they did?
Okay, so what's happening now, because we've been on for so long, is I'm getting the same questions I've answered many times before. Not just once, I've answered those questions many times before.
Okay. I'll try to come up with some new
ones. I mean, it's no problem. It's fine. It's just that I feel like that they are, in a past life, they were king and queen and they had a kingdom and they live like they're king and queen.
I know.
And there's, this is a testament to, you are what you believe you are. because I don't see Jenny Thomas going to jail, and I do see Clarence Thomas though being not forced to step down, but recognizing it's in his best interest rather than be impeached, which somebody did inform me that that is a thing. Because Supreme Court justices, they seem untouchable, but I'll look more into that. And your lovely informants in the chat can tell you whether a Supreme Court justice can in fact be impeached. And if so, how do we do it? Because I want all the information.
That's like sending up the bat signal to Warren Green when you ask a question like that.
Good. Is he still here?
I don't know if he's still around.
It's a long show.
Do you think so?
If you include the 6 to 7 part, yeah, it's very long.
Oh, I've been here for all of it.
How many hours now? 4?
We're at 3.5 hours into our New Year's Eve spectacular.
Yeah, but that's not counting the hour.
No, that includes the hour. We're 2.5 hours into our live show tonight.
That's crazy. Nobody's gonna watch.
And we already did an hour at the studio today. What's wrong?
Okay, so we're almost done.
But we have 625 people watching right now.
That doesn't mean we have to stay till midnight.
Oh, I think it might have to. All right, let's throw you for a loop here, Annette. Hope you are powered by whatever you had for dinner tonight to get you through this one. This is from Maggie G. Annette, if the Akashic records have already been written about the past, present, and future, what is the benefit of us praying for other people?
They're not written. They're just energy that is contained in the collective consciousness. They're not written.
Is that your answer?
No, well, read the last part again. The last part.
What is the benefit? What is the benefit of us praying for other people?
Those are two completely unrelated topics.
All right. We will accept that answer.
I mean, well, let me just explain that they're two completely unrelated topics. And so let me just explain. The Akashic records, everything's energy, all our thoughts, all our deeds, all our, recently I've been talking about, and Sadhguru said this in a talk, and I've said it in my classes in my church, just recounted this because it's worth thinking about. We all leave an energetic wake. We all leave an energetic imprint. And after we die, it doesn't get destroyed. Our energetic imprint still exists out there. And the Akashic records are energetic imprints of everything that's ever happened on the planet. So it's like a huge, we've talked about this before, it's like a giant library of information. Or a better way to look at it is like to think about it metaphorically is like the cloud, right? The Akashic records are like the iCloud that have all the information about anything that's ever happened. And we can access information if you believe that the future has already happened, which is going down a rabbit hole. We don't have time to go down that rabbit hole, that's for sure. But you can pull information from the Akashic records. So what I'm doing when I see past lives is I'm reading it from the Akashic records. That's not even the same category as prayer, right? It's a separate topic.
Oh, no, I appreciate the explanation, though.
Everything's connected.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, how does prayer affect?
It's what's the benefit of us praying for other people?
Who's asking this question?
Maggie G.
Okay, I just can't see the connection. But anyway, when we pray for other people, we hold them in our consciousness as having what it is that they are wanting and needing to have happen. All thought is creative. So we contribute to the good, the healing, the prosperity, the peace of mind. We contribute energy to that occurring for them. So the more people that pray, the more it's going to affect that person in a positive way. And there's a book called Healing Words by Dr. Larry Dossey that is a whole book about research and studies that have been done that show that it works. I should do a whole class on that. I know a lot about that stuff.
Oh, there you go. Jot it down. For the record, Warren Green has said, yes, a Supreme Court justice can be impeached, and only one justice has been impeached in 1805, Associate Justice Samuel Chase.
Good. We can do it again. We've done it before. We can do it again. Ask Warren if he's still there. Apparently, he's still right there.
He is, yep.
I know there's a delay. Can the people impeach him? Who has to impeach the justice?
There you go, Warren.
Because I'm thinking Brett Kavanaugh.
Ooh.
Oh, that's one for the pendulum.
All right, in the meantime, Annette, can you ring the bell?
Certainly. How long are we staying on tonight?
Everyone is asking us to stay on until midnight.
That's because it's not the 31st yet.
Holy crap.
So nothing's going to happen at midnight as far as we know.
I know. By the way, that was Catherine Rodier, or Rodier, or Rodier. I say Rodier with a tip. That's a champagne for both of us, Annette. She says, you are amazing.
You're drunk already with all this money for champagne.
A lot of champagne tonight.
Just thinking about it.
Thank you, Catherine, as always.
Is Kavanaugh gonna? So I think Kavanaugh is gonna set something in motion, because I see Kavanaugh being impeached. And I did a reading on the Supreme Court last night, and I saw the sun card kept coming up, illuminating. We're gonna see all of the dark money and all of the heinous, brazen corruption in the Supreme Court. It's all going to be there in full living color. So, I mean, here's the thing about 2023. All the evidence that we need about the nefarious things all the evidence that we need, there's more, about the nefarious criminal activities of people that have been representing this country are going to be on full display, undeniably, right in front of your face. If you're not susceptible to gaslighting, you won't be like, oh, that's not really happening. It's going to be just right in front of your eyes. So it's really on us to do something with what we find out collectively. There's a group called Demand Justice, for example. You can join that organization and find out what they're doing and support them. The least people can do is give them $10 a month. If there's nothing else that you're able to do, give them $10 a month. I get that Kavanaugh is going to be impeached. Clarence Thomas, I get that is going to just step down. I haven't read the January 6th committee report yet. I don't know how much of it's actually, I think the whole thing is out, but they keep talking about transcripts that are just being released too. So I think that Ginny Thomas and Clarence are all over it. I haven't seen it yet. I'm just kind of picking that up.
All right. Moving right along here. How about this question, Annette? Will the public hear about the people who gave tours of the Capitol on January 5th?
Yes. I have seen, in my mind's eye, I've talked about it before. I've seen Kevin McCarthy on a surveillance videotape giving a tour, for one. Gomer, another, Andy Biggs, I think, Ted Cruz, Josh Hawley. Yeah, they're all there. Lauren Boebert. Nobody asked about Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's interesting.
No, not tonight. No.
Which is fine, because her energy is so heinous. I don't really want to go into that.
Meatball.
Yeah, I know, but the meatball is getting in a position of power. That's what I mean. January, February, March. Get ready, be strong, keep showing up, join Progressives of Democracy, be involved, because we all are going to need each other to ride the roller coaster of chaos of the Republican Party that is not a Republican Party anymore. It isn't. Next question.
Joanne Sign asks, Annette, what does the drought look like in the west and southwest of the U.S. for 2023?
Bad.
Jeez.
Crisis. Well, ask me another question about it. If you need more information.
Do you see no relief in sight?
No, no relief in sight. We will have to rely on scientists and engineering marvels and technology to be innovative and to take risks and to come up with solutions. Because there will not be enough water. And I have heard many times that there are developers in Arizona building huge developments, not letting anyone know or being, conscious about that there's not enough water. So, it's going to be up to the scientists and engineers to come up with a solution. We should, we're going to get a little slap on the wrist for all, humans have done without being conscious. Maybe more than a slap on the wrist. What's happening?
Nothing. Well, the chat's flying tonight, but.
Want to do 2 more questions?
We can do with that. How about this one? Sharply, actually, a few people have asked, including Lisa just now, Sharp Lisa. How long will it take for the mighty Mississippi to recover? People actually name Mississippi River by name.
I know, I'm sorry that I hate to be the bearer of bad news, so we really need to come up with some more light questions. I feel lakes and rivers drying up. Like, it's bad. Now, let me tell you something. Think about this. Think about how many toilets there are.
What?
Average toilet. I'm not going all Trump on you. Just think about how many average toilets there are and how much water is wasted. If we think about that, let me just paint a picture for you. Don't worry, it's not going to be
starts
gross.
with a toilet.
It's not going to be gross. Remember when Trump was just like, you gotta flush? He's such a weirdo. 15 times. Well, yeah, then you have a water crisis if you're doing that. Think about technology of, for example, because a flush is like 5-6 gallons of water, right? What I'm getting at is, if en masse we change that saves billions of gallons of, of water. It really, so we have to, just like we have to convert to green technology across the board en masse all at once, the same thing has to happen with the way that we use water. There are things like, for example, a dry toilet. If you met people that like lived that way, people
that's called an outhouse, right?
Yes, yeah, no water involved, right? I'm making the point that there are so many things that can be done that don't cause the water to be completely depleted. There's a lot of farming and agricultural practices that are totally wasteful with water. We waste so much water like there's an infinite supply. Well, there used to be a seemingly infinite supply before global climate change and prior to there being 8 billion plus people on the planet. We can't just keep going like this. We have to change the way that we do things, right?
This is true. Annette,
Yes.
Caroline Smith has asked, what are some of the ecological or eco-friendly triumphs and wins you see for the future year?
Well, I just gave you one.
Give me more.
I mean, you get that I answered the question first, right? Before you asked it.
You really think that answers that question entirely?
That answers the question about what changes. Well, I do see that happen. There will be changes around how we use our resources out of urgency, out of emergency, out of desperate, dire need. Because for some reason, humans don't get it until the catastrophe is at their front door. So that's kind of a general question, but I just addressed the water, the changes are, I mean, I know that I was presenting it as a concept, but I do see things going in that direction. In LA, they recycle their water. You know that. I don't know if they were doing that when you lived there, probably not, but they recycle their water.
Yeah, they're hurting for water out there.
Big time.
Yep.
We waste way too many of our natural resources. The earth will give us what we need if we cooperate. But that question's kind of general, so I mean.
That's okay. Carolyn actually says you answered it as she asked it, so it was good.
Oh yeah, that happens a lot.
Christina asked, Annette, is there a way to convert a gasoline car engine into an environmentally friendlier engine? It's weird that we still have we just live out of the combustible engine still.
Can you say fossil fuel companies gouging people and hiding? Remember we talked about the Who Killed the Electric Car movie that came out decades ago?
Long time ago.
Yeah, the technology is, or I feel like it's either very close or already there. Yeah. There'll be changes. I cannot believe it. I'm so glad that I don't drive a lot because I cannot believe it that I'm glug, 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 glug in 2022. When you see what we can do a video and people around the world can jump on, but we still go glug, 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 glug. We're still running our cars with fossil fuel from dinosaurs. What the heck is wrong with us? Greed.
Yep. How about this one, Annette? Do you see a viable third political party for the states?
Well, let me put it this way. If there's a Republican Party that's like it was meant to be, then that would be 3 parties. I do see people that are like old school Republicans making an effort to have a party that's mainstream, like what Joe Biden always says, your grandfather's or your father's Republican Party, right? I do see a segment of our population that will be doing what they can to strengthen that. And then that will make 3 parties. Because what we're talking about with the insurrectionists and the election deniers being elected and taking their seats is a fascist party. And I hope people understand that I'm not just saying that. They want to take away voting rights. They've already taken away women's rights. They want to make this a Christian nationalist nation. They want to prosecute. They want to try and prosecute like a Dr. Fauci, the public servants. They want to impeach Joe Biden. They want to investigate Hunter Biden. I mean, the good news about that is when they investigated Bill Clinton, when they did that to Bill Clinton, I mean, I'm not saying it was right what he did. I'm just saying when they did that, Bill Clinton's poll numbers skyrocketed up. Because he was doing a good job and they didn't really care about like what the Republicans are doing was not in their best interest. So, do you need more?
No, but you know how long the show's gone on tonight?
Yeah, I know, because I'm starting to go. Did I answer that question or was that a different question?
You actually had to go somewhere else. So that's how long this show's been tonight. She's got to get on with her day. It's 10:15 a.m. in Singapore.
Oh, she left. Okay, so we're done. Almost, right?
We have this question from Rita Conley. How will the U.S. and China space race evolve?
I think that's too long of it. Can you ask me a simpler question? Because that's just like there's so much to that. That's just too multifaceted. The earth is moving.
What's for dinner? What's for dinner? How's that one?
Soup.
What kind of soup?
I make vegetable soup with whatever I have. I think I had 20 vegetables in this. No, maybe
you're a vegetable chopper.
Yeah, I love to chop vegetables.
How about this?
Was it Dana Garvey that did the chopping broccoli?
You bring that up all the time. You love that.
Because that's me. Not all the time. I told you about that once before.
Once?
Fine. You probably have your favorite things too. How many
Okay.
times do we
All
repeat ourselves on the show?
Annette needs a
Before we
snack. It's almost time. It's almost
Here
time.
we go. This is the 2023. My niece is an artist. She's 21. She goes by the name. I keep forgetting what it is.
Really? Just call her niece then.
Emery's Fur. Anyway, no, but you can order them on my website. My assistants put it up on my website. I'm pretty sure she's really efficient. I'm sure it's up by now. It's $20. Shipping is free because it's going to arrive a little bit late. Like a couple weeks into January, you'll receive yours. But it's great because you can keep track of the moon phases. Help her out. Help out the young artists and have a great lunar calendar. I'll get you one.
Yeah. So, well, we want to thank everyone who joined us, and especially all the new names and handles in there.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah, all the thumbs up, all the subs are great too. So Annette and I do this every Wednesday night for you. We ramp it up at the end and the start of a year because there's so much going on. So we may sneak on for another show. We don't know. We'll play that by ear. But tomorrow night you can watch the replay of the prediction show Annette and I did in December of 2020 at the height of COVID hysteria. If you want to watch that. Friday night, we're replaying last year's show, New Year's show, with Annette and Linda G, the Comanche Psychic, so you can check that out. And then Saturday night, New Year's Eve, we're going to replay this show for you so you can enjoy the live chat there as well, unless Annette and I pop on and do something crazy at some point. We did a show last year, Annette, like right after New Year's Day. I think either New Year's Day or the 2nd. So there's that.
Oh, okay. I know we did one New Year's Eve. So that was the one you just showed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I have a feeling we'll do it. I have a feeling we're going to do more predictions for the year.
There you have it, folks. So we have
let
to
me know what
thank,
you're doing Friday.
as always, we have to thank our wrenches tonight, Annalie Finch and Christian Montone. Awesome, because it was crazy busy in their night. It was our biggest live crowd to date.
Yes,
so thanks to all of you participating. Annette, thank you for your time. That was a lot of time we put in today.
I'm almost tapped out.
Yeah, I need dinner now. And
however, we need cards for the collective, right?
We're going to do a collective card. If you want, folks, every Thursday morning, our time, we're in Gloucester, Massachusetts, I put out a newsletter about Bridge Cape Ann stuff. So it's a lot of local stuff, but I usually have a net schedule in there or links to prior videos. You can just email me at hello@bridgecapeann.com and I'll get you in that list tonight for tomorrow morning's newsletter. So there is that. So anyway, we know people start to leave as soon as we say we're wrapping things up.
That's okay. They've hung with it for a long time.
Yeah, but we'll do a community card to end things for the night.
My Wi-Fi worked.
Yeah, it was great tonight.
Yeah, you never know. Okay, 3 cards for the community. They do this when I have my Church of Spirituality too. I'm always like, don't leave church early.
I know, it's funny. That's why they'll stay with you for 3.5 hours, and as soon as you say, "Okay, last question,"
yeah, it's funny.
They just hit jettison and shoot right out of the pilot's chair.
This is the 8 of Swords. This is about, and this is what I got last night when I was doing a reading too. We're going to see people really hemmed in. I mean, people in positions of power that were in positions of power being held accountable, just in terms of, we gotcha, we have the goods, like that. We're going to see a lot of that this week. That's our raising a glass of champagne. A lot of, get into the lightheartedness and the goodness and focus on the good, because the Empress card is coming up, which to me has represented the United States. Focus on the good things that are happening. That are happening. There are a lot of miracles that have occurred. And I always have to remind people, I feel like I always have to remind people, it's a miracle that on January 6, 2021, we didn't become a government that was a fascist government. So keep it in perspective. Instead of being run by a fascist dictator, having this country being there, we have investigations going on. The Democrats still have a lot of power and will continue to have more and more power. So keep a positive perspective, remembering that what we think affects the whole collective energy. So even if you don't believe it, fake it till you make it, see things working out for the highest good, and so it will be. And join my classes in January by going to my website, psychicannetteDion.com. because I'm really into teaching. This is a year that I'm going to launch a lot of teaching. So be ready for that. I love to teach.
And other things we're looking forward to in 2023 is a new home studio here where Annette and I can do our shows. We did a test run at a friend's place today, which was great. So that'll be the big news here next year. We're also going to be doing shows with my wife, the veterinarian, Dr. Meredith Lockwood, on pet care questions. We do that pretty well. We know we didn't show off Bubba tonight. People keep asking. Bubba has literally not woken up for like 3 straight hours. He's been sleeping right here on the floor, but we show off
my one. Be relaxing for him.
He's my 175-pound Mastiff laying down next to me. So we'll show him next time too. You get to know him if you follow our channel, folks. So there is that. Book a reading with Annette. Go to psychicannetteDion.com. And I think that's about it for now. We hope everyone has a very safe and happy new year. I'll probably, if I'm home, I'll be in on those live chats for the replays of our shows, which are 7 p.m. for the next 3 nights here on Bridge Cape Band. So thanks for all your eyes and ears tonight. We really appreciate it. Annette, thanks for your time and your gift once again.
Thank you. It's always a blast.
And if we don't see you folks, we'll catch you in 2023.
At some point.
That is it for now. So,
all right. Namaste. See you at the gala.
Yeah. You see it. Bye, Annette. Bye, Sadhguru.
Bye.
All right, folks. Thanks for your time tonight. We'll see you in 2023. Bye for now.